Hey y'all. Hello everyone. Hope you're doing well. I didn't think I had a good thumbnail, but I actually had one. 2020 messed us up psychologically, monetarily, which means money, right? Monetary is money. There was people talking about this stuff when it was going down and like their channels was getting banned. And then I guess 5 years later, their channels got unbanned, unbanned or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. I just heard about it. Yeah, y'all already know, right? I don't even have to explain it. But it's really disappointing. The Rona, the inflation, the government contracts, the jabs, the vaxes, the the damage has been done. And people are like still messed up from it. Some people are. It's also a good excuse. So don't feel bad. Like just enjoy your life. Like the thumbnail says, the days are flying by. People are working hard, just living to pay bills, and it doesn't have, like, that's not all life's about, you know, like, go for walks, enjoy the sunsets, the sunrises, like, even if you want to take a break from the news, you could take a break from the news, you don't have to watch the news channel no more. It just keeps you feeling like you should be hiding in a bunker. Some people actually made their own bunker. Y'all never saw that? There's a guy that's like makes bunkers and actually like pays taxes because he has a business making bunkers. They're giant pipes. They're giant pipes that look like an elbow. People buy bunkers to bury in their backyard. You know, just like after 2020, like it was probably that like 2023. Was that the year where people was like revenge spending? Like people got stimulus money, which was how they created inflation. Like how they made things more expensive is they printed all that money. And then on top of that, there was the supply chain stuff because of globalism. And then now, like after that, it's been psychological. Like it's been, like I heard the other day that people, they have to let it go psychologically for things to get cheaper. So like that stuff that Joe Biden was talking about with price gouging, like that stuff's real. You see it, like I see it on YouTube a lot with the dealerships, like the Chevrolet dealership, the like General Motors, probably Ford, probably all of them. I don't know, like if they all charge that much, but I think it's just because their buildings are so big that they have to cover the electricity bill, and then who, like, you know what I'm saying? Like they have subscriptions these days for the software updates on the cars and stuff like that, and it's like they're like, I don't know if they're like, okay, the boss man's probably making a lot of money, the CEO, the chief executive officer. I don't know like all about how it works, but I did Google it one time to see if if the dealerships are close to going bankrupt, going out of business, and then they started giving excuses like overhead. Like overhead is the money that it costs to keep your place going. So I don't know, like I started thinking that the dealership should have smaller buildings. Like they should have. Oh man, it's sad, yeah. It's sad. But yeah, the blood clots, is part of what messed me up psychologically. Is depressing. To feel like people, like it just seemed like a power grab. If what Fauci really said that it only lasts 2 weeks, but at first he said that it lasts a long time if you got vaccinated. It's really terrible, like that it turned into 2 weeks. Like he admitted it that it only lasts 2 weeks, so it was redundant. Like it didn't make any sense that people would get vaccinated if it only lasted 2 weeks. And yeah, I don't know, man. Like some people they died because they already had sicknesses. They was already weak. Like they was explaining comorbidities. So, but like I seen pictures of some people that died, and like they didn't even look that weak. Like they didn't look like a sick person. So it's really sad all the way around. And then the blood clots, it could have been from the shots. Um, you see that stuff on YouTube, and then it's like, like, what do you like? Okay, so like it's like a one size fits all hat. Like it doesn't fit everybody. And like I remember watching on TV, there was this guy that had a government contract to making vaccines, and like a bunch of it spoiled, and he was in court because like he would have to make some more. He wasted a lot of money or something. But they was talking about like the second shot, like the third one, like there was bad batches or something. But it's just nobody wants to think about it anymore. And I see like a lot of people struggling, and like a lot of people they're not right. Like they're not right like in the head since then. And like it's not your fault. It's like it's just I don't know, there's like conspiracies and stuff thinking that they've been like they've known about like if y'all have ever heard somebody say that they known about coronaviruses since the 50s. uh there's like conspiracies out there that um but I don't know, like all I remember, like I wasn't even paying attention to politics and stuff like that. Like I just remember talking to this gamer girl, this gamer woman. She was like 30 years old. No, she was 29. I was like 33, 32. She kept talking about China. She kept talking about like war with China and stuff. Like she was listening to the news or whatever. I don't know. And then like there was the tariff stuff. Like there was the tariffs, and it was like a global trade, quote unquote, war, which like I think they use the word war too much. But anyways, it was right after I heard that, and then that was when like the virus, like everybody started talking about the virus. It was 2019. But so I was confused, and like a lot of people they thought that it was China, like it was China's fault, and then they learned that like America had to do with the funding with Fauci, like in China at the Wuhan is a virology, like there's a bat woman, and she would do the pangolin and the bat virus type stuff. Like they've been studying these things for a long time. it's not like new technology or something. Like it just they're just like playing around with bacteria and microscopes and stuff. You know, it's called splicing or whatever, and I just think that a lot of people they want to forget about it, but like I didn't know if it was because of Trump. Like I was like, because I was ignorant, you know. I was like, is this because of Trump? Like, is the world mad at Trump? And then they released the virus. Like that's what I thought. Like at first, and then I was like, oh no. And then so like I started listening to all these people like on YouTube talk about it. Uh, they was just like, yeah, and then on Free Speech TV, they was pushing for to get like on TV, they was pushing to get the vax, and like I was afraid to get the vax, like I didn't want to, and then like I kind of felt bad that I was like I told a few folks, well, like if they're gonna be out there and stuff, they should probably get the vax, and then like I heard some people talk about their second or third shot like messed them up, and then like I had an uncle, he had 4 shots, and I guess he's still all right. And then a few years later, you hear some folks talk about like with the vaxes that they cause cancer, and I'm like, well, I hope nobody gets cancer from the vax. But like I did ended up catching the virus one time. Like I felt it in my lungs. Like I got it from Home Depot and Wendy's, cause I got tired of quarantining. And even though I wore a mask, I still got the virus. So like it didn't help anyways. Um, and then like yeah, like I was one of those people like I'm already healthy. Like I already like eat good, and so like I smoked a cigarette because like I was already been smoking. Like I've been smoking a lot like since 2016. 2017, 2018. But I had to slow down on cigarettes. But anyways, I smoked a cigarette and then I went to sleep. And then like I didn't feel it in my lungs anymore, but it did feel like I felt that in my lungs, like that was abnormal. And then like I heard from other people when they like their first time to get the virus was like in 2020 before the vaccines was released. Like some of these older people, like he felt it in his stomach, like it made his stomach hurt really bad, and then he couldn't breathe. It was like hard to breathe for like a few minutes, so I don't know how long, but I guess he got over it, you know. And like I told people, I'm like, well, like if you know, like if you would have died, like the first time that you got the virus, you would have died, but it didn't kill you. So I guess for the people that, you know what I'm saying, they just like the vaxes was trying to stop the spread or something, but it was not so deadly that it kept spreading, because if it would have been a virus that would be really deadly, it wouldn't be able to spread. So like if they make it where it's not so deadly, then it spreads. And like that's what happened with Ebola. Like Ebola, these people was eating rats like in Africa. It was like some kids that ate some bats like in Africa that fell from the tree, and that's how they got Ebola. And it was so deadly that it didn't spread because people would bleed out from their eyes, from their ears, from their mouth, and then they would die. But like it did spread a little bit, but not that much. Like it's just whoever was around the sick person whenever they got sick with Ebola or something. Like I didn't know what Ebola was. Like I kept hearing about it from some of my black friends like in 2014. He's like making a joke or something, but like I see, like I never did try to figure out what this stuff was. And then yeah, like I saw it on YouTube like after 2020. I was like, all right, what is this Ebola? And then yeah, like people kept talking like 1917 with the Spanish flu, and that was like a bird flu or something. They called it avian flu, which like avian, like that just means bird, but it's from a bird flu from the war from like I don't know exactly how that spread, but apparently the worst pandemic ever was the Black Death, and that was like in like 1200 or 1300 or something. And like I do think that had a lot to do with the beginning of America because they wanted to get away from Europe, I guess. I don't know if that had something to do with it, but that's what I think. Uh, because like they didn't find America till 1492 or whatever they tell us in history, but apparently people was already here, like everybody. Uh, or at least that's what they say sometimes. It was like different type people. There was white Indians. Yeah. Oh man, there was white Indians, there was black Indians, there was Asian looking Indians. uh, like even before the Romans took over North Europe, like a lot of those druids was living like Indians. Um, like if you ever look back into that stuff, like Rome had the high technology. Uh, which is Southern Europe. It's Italy. It's Italy. And then yeah, the Black Death, like it killed so many people. But that came from like just fleas, fleas and poop. Uh, and it was really bad. That was really bad. We are not going to outsource our security. We are not going to outsource our hemispheric security to other countries. And if there were an attack on Greenland from Russia, some I don't know where I was going with that. I was gonna say something else, but I forgot. Now, peace through strength, make it part of the United States, and there will not be a conflict because the United States right now. Oh yeah, the stuff with Fauci, those American, the guy that did stuff with AIDS is like the AIDS, like in the 80s, like he was a doctor, like an old school doctor, and he was up in court a few times, and it's just weird. And then like you see the way China treated their people, like I seen that, like they was like spraying down the streets and everything, and then they like people was locked up in their houses, and then they had like metal sheds type stuff that they was putting people in. And there was actually people, like there was women that their kids died because they wanted some flu medicine and they couldn't get any flu medicine, and like their kids actually died. And it was crazy, man. You see some of that video from China, and like people are up in the skyscraper and they can't get out, or like they're like yelling from the windows and stuff. It's really creepy. Uh, and then like yeah, the news and stuff with India, like a lot of people died in India, and it was like really sad seeing people struggling to breathe. Um,
And we'll be hearing from the Managing Director of the World Economic Forum in a moment. But first, what does this all mean for the EU
Yeah.
and UK trade relations with the US? David Hennig is UK Director of the European Centre for International Political Economy.
Virology,
Yeah, at the moment, there's no
virology,
sign of these actually going away.
virusology.
Is the first take on this, and if
No, but I heard one time
this
that
does
it
impose
was a
tariffs
virus
on
that
any
helped
material
humanity
goods,
grow,
there's no doubt in my
like
mind that
their
at the very
brains and
least the
everything. It was a
EU will be
virus from the
responding as
ocean or
legislative
something.
measures that they developed last year of tariffs
That
on the US.
like
I
that
think
whole
there will
virus
be
world
quite a lot
is
of caution
really
around in
strange.
Europe about um, escalating this too much to try
It
to
like
avoid the
causes
economic damage as
mutations
far
or
as possible,
something
and also in the belief that they
in
can make
evolution or
Trump
something.
back
It
down,
is
give
really
them
weird. It's
a negative
like if you
response
look
from the
at them, they
financial
look like a
markets.
bug. They look like a
But there's no
mosquito,
doubt
but
that
it's
things,
like
for the time being,
bacteria,
things are going to get
parasites.
worse in terms of US-EU relations. And yes, this is an unprecedented development.
It's weird to see
Ursula von der Leyen,
bacteria
European
like under a
Commission President,
microscope.
and other EU leaders are said to be meeting with
Uh,
President Trump privately in Davos. He arrives Wednesday and is there on Thursday. Let's just talk about the worst case scenario
but yeah,
for a moment. If there's no sort of diplomatic improvement this week,
I don't know. They said
and
that
the
like
anti-US
Corona was gonna
instrument,
be
as
with
it's
us
known, the
forever or something.
European
It's just
nuclear
like the
button is
flu.
hit when it comes to tariffs. Where are we headed?
Well, I think
But
that in the
then
first
sometimes
instance,
when people
if
be
the
getting
US
sick,
imposes tariffs of
it's not
10% on the
necessarily the
UK
flu. It's
and
sepsis
certain EU member states
because
and
people ain't
Norway
washing their
at the
hands.
start of February, then I think that at the very least the EU will respond with retaliatory tariffs.
Sepsis is
That will be the
no,
first thing that
yeah.
happens. I don't
Sepsis
think
is
it'll
like an
factor into the
overreaction,
EU anti-coercion
like the body's
instrument that the
overreaction
UK
to
used. I
some
think
type
that will be held
something
in
in the
reserve
body,
for if the president
and it's like
wins last year in
overreacting.
June with 25%
That's what
tariffs,
happened with
which
a
would
lot of the
happily give
vaccines.
the
People's
EU
bodies was
more time to
overreacting.
prepare. And I think that what we may then see is actions in
I don't
other
know, but
fields
like
other than tariffs. For example,
I had
restrictions on US companies
a
in public
rheumatoid
procurement in the
arthritis flare
EU.
up
And clearly, you
in
then see the route to an escalating trade war. Now, in fact, I don't think the second part of that will happen. I think that there will be resolution
I can't remember if it was
within the coming weeks. We should also
2019
bear in mind there is an
or
upcoming Supreme
2021,
Court ruling on President Trump's tariff powers. That could come as early as this week. That could
but it was one
also
of those
change this
years,
picture. So I'm expecting
or maybe
actually a pretty
2020.
heavy couple of weeks in terms
I
of
thought it was
news.
from the
I think
coffee,
there's at least an even chance that actually
and then
none
I
of
was
this
researching about it if
happens,
it could have
but
been
obviously we
because
have
of
to prepare for
Corona,
the worst.
David
and
Hennig there with
apparently,
his take on the latest developments from the European Centre for
I guess
International
some people
Political
was
Economy.
having
Well, as
rheumatoid
you will
arthritis
expect,
flare ups
financial markets are
because of
on edge
Corona.
due to the
But it also
escalation
could have
in
been from the
trade
coffee, but it
tensions.
also could
The
be
main
from
market in
stress.
Japan, the Nikkei 225, has been down for most of today's session, around about a
So I
percent,
really didn't know.
whilst gold and silver is hitting fresh record highs, and the
But I
dollar
had
is
like
losing
one
value
little
against the Japanese
turmeric
yen
pill,
and the
and
euro.
I took that
David
turmeric and like
Bowen
I
is head of
prayed
foreign
and then it
exchange
went away.
strategy at Rabobank.
But
He told me
that
earlier that
stuff's
prospects
terrible.
of a
Like my
trade
hips
war
was
will
hurting,
trouble
my knees
markets.
was hurting. Like
Well, of
it
course, a
felt
trade
like
war is
my
not just
bones was
really vulnerable
breaking.
against the our
And then I
economies,
learned about
which bring
rheumatoid
other costs to the
arthritis, and
US
like that's
economy too.
actually
That
what
could mean
happens
a
if you
lot
see
more
people
inflation
like you
for the
see
US
people's
consumer, which is something that Donald Trump
pictures of
doesn't
their
want
hands where they
ahead
had
of
rheumatoid
the
like
midterm
arthritis
elections
their whole
later on
life
in
or
the year. So
something,
that is
and
something
like it makes your
that the
fingers
European
crooked and it
authorities
looks like
probably
it's
use to
being
their
broke,
advantage. They know
like
he
even their
won't want
toes and stuff. So
reciprocal tariffs from Europe against
don't
the US
stress,
right now.
you
But the
know,
financial
if
markets
stress
will be
is one of the
tightening in August.
causes,
This is
don't
about
stress.
Article 5 of the NATO treaty, something to do with
Don't stress.
basically Europe's
That's why I
defence
don't be
spending.
liking
That
coffee
that
sometimes
treaty
because I
will
do a little
come
bit
to
too
an
much
end, as
coffee and it
the
give me
Danish
worried.
authorities warned a couple of weeks
Like it
ago.
makes me
If
worry and
Trump
gives
were
me
to
anxiety and
escalate
like it
in
gives me the jitters
Greenland,
and
and of course
stuff.
that exposes
And
Europe to
stress
the threat
kills.
of Russia,
Yeah, it
for
does.
instance. So this isn't something
Like
that Europe wants, and I think it's hoping that by standing together and by pushing back on Trump, that they could
I
potentially
really didn't
come
start
to a
using
different arrangement
coffee
and
a
come
lot
to
till
something which would
like I
de-escalate these
was
tensions. But meanwhile, as you mentioned,
30,
safe haven gold,
like
silver,
31,
they're back
32,
at very strong highs, having performed well last year, and stock
32
market
years old.
futures are pretty weak this morning in the red. And of course, it's a US holiday today,
I
so the
think I was
market won't be able to
34
gauge fully
in
the US
2020.
market reaction until tomorrow. And in some ways, a 24-hour pause
And it
for
seemed
Russia
like the
is
years
going
just
quite
flew
well
by,
this
man. The
morning,
years
isn't
flew
it?
by.
Well, it gives the market time to think
Since
this
I was
through. And
30, the
as we've
years
been
flew
hearing,
by.
there is
And then I'm
also
almost
a
close to
danger
being
that
40, and I'm
Donald
like, what the
Trump does
fuck?
push back
Like,
or
slow the
step
fuck
back
down.
from his initial
Like
threat.
if
And I think
you,
there will be a
like if
lot of
you,
hope that this
like
is
if
what
you're a
will happen
sleeper
again with respect
and
to
you sleep a
Greenland.
lot,
And that might
10
stay a
years is
lot
gonna
of
feel like
China's
5.
hands with respect to that, rather than go
And
straight into
then
panic mode. That there may be a little bit of
they say we only
pragmatism
need like
with
8
respect
hours
to
of
that. But
sleep.
certainly, gold and
But
silver
if you don't
very
get
well
your
supported
sleep,
this morning.
you could get a
Yeah,
brain
I'm afraid
disease, you could get
time
dementia
still to
before you
come.
get old, so you're
We'll
never
meet
gonna
in
get
Davos,
old.
where the tariff shock is
You're just gonna lose
overshadowing
your
the World
mind,
Economic Forum, with crunch talks
by
between
the
Trump
time
and
you're like
European
70
leaders
or something.
expected.
So,
Around
but
the
I
world and
mean,
across the UK, you're with
man,
BBC News.
it sucks. Like getting like old age sucks, and so like I feel for the young people. Like I started thinking real deeply about life. Like 2020 made me like, because like 33 is your last year, and then 34 you're gonna start getting old. Like after 34, you're like, it's something with the body, it's something with the human body, and I'm like, humans don't get to enjoy their youth as long, like, because it's busy with work and bills, and like some people choose to get out of the system, like they like opt out, like they want to go live like a hippie or something, they want to be a nomad, they want to travel the world, they want to just live without that much money, and some people do get by like that. I used to watch the Travel Channel on like on TV, like when I was a teenager, and yeah, that was the thing about the Travel Channel. This dude and this woman
You're with
used
Business
to get
Today. I'm
around
Sally Bundock. Let's return
like
to the
on less
top
than
story. A
$100
range
or
of tariff
something
announcements from Donald Trump
back
and
in the
its
day.
implications for relations between Europe, the US, and NATO that will
And
overshadow
then,
the annual World Economic
you
Forum
know,
in Davos, Switzerland, that officially
you might could
starts
tell somebody
today.
that you want to live like that,
President
and then
Trump
they be all
himself will
negative
be
and
leading
stuff.
the
So
largest ever
you
US
can't really listen
delegation
to
to the
people's
event. He'll be
opinions.
there
You
on
just have to
Wednesday and
follow your own
Thursday.
spirit.
He's due to give a speech and is also expected to
And then,
hold private talks with various people, not least to mention the EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen and other EU leaders. The managing
the
director
stuff with
of
the
the World
life
Economic
extension
Forum is
technology,
Roulet
like people
Doucet.
could live a
He
long
began
time in the
in my
future, they're
conversation
gonna
with him
get it.
earlier by outlining the importance
And
of
it
this
seemed like
year's
rich
event.
people gonna get it first.
This week, we're
And that they
gathering a
think that
record
humans
number
can
of
live to be
leaders,
150.
2,000 leaders from around the world, including 65
But I'm like,
assist-steering
if we could
governments.
just live like
President
where we're
Trump
still
is
beautiful for 30
coming
years,
to the annual meeting with the largest
like
ever
imagine being
delegation of
looking
cabinet
like 30
members
years
as
old for
well.
30
We will have
years.
a number of leaders from
Like that
around
would
the
be
world,
amazing, but like
from
obviously
Europe,
we don't have it
from
and
other
we're all gonna
regions.
die.
We are living in very contested times,
Um,
geopolitically and geoeconomically. So
like if you don't take
definitely
care of your body, like after
geoeconomics, the state of the world
34,
economy
you
will be
start
very
looking old
much
as
on the
hell
agenda
by the time you're
and
in
will
your
be a
50s.
big
And there's a lot of
part
people that are in
what's
their
happening
50s and they still
this
look
week.
good.
Yeah, I mean,
And so
Davos
like you
is
really got to choose
about
to
global
eat
collaboration, working together, finding
uh,
solutions to the world's pressing problems.
fruits
But
and
this year surely
vegetables
saw
and
a
like
great
good
disruption, isn't
clean
it, with
meat
the key
or
player
whatever,
in all
like
that, President
nuts.
Trump arriving on Wednesday.
Um,
No, it is really, and it's been now,
so it's
according
crazy
to
that
our
like
analysts, it's
you learn
been
that
entered in a more
sweets
contested
could make you older
economy.
looking
We are
in the
now at a
brain
very
as well.
critical
Like
moment
it's
with important
like all
developments
these processed
on the trade
foods, they're like
agenda.
they call them junk
We will
food.
have many of the protagonists, the stakeholders here this week. We will hear from
Yeah,
President
we had a junk
Ursula von der
virus.
Leyen on
It was a
Tuesday.
junk
We will have
virus.
Chancellor Merkel here.
Nah, but
Chancellor
like that would
Merkel
be so
returns.
messed up
We
if
will
they
have
release another
we will have
virus
President
again and then
Macron
we all got fucked up
here.
again.
So it will be a very important.
I'd be mad as hell. Like, what would they do? What would they do?
Leaders of governments from Europe. So
Would they put us on lockdown again?
Geopolitically and also security-wise.
People didn't want to do lockdown. It was some chaos on the TV. Like I was seeing some chaos on the TV. Like people didn't want to do the lockdown stuff. There was like two types of people: the ones that believed in it and the ones that didn't.
On your event, it puts you on the map. I mean, not so recently. People were
There's probably
talking
three
about
types of people, and then there's like the third that didn't want
a
to
gathering of very rich and wealthy business
participate
people
at all.
and it's a talking
A lot of
point,
people
but
lost their
very
jobs. Like I was hearing about nurses, doctors. You know, like it wasn't just people on social media that was getting their you know, their accounts deleted or something.
It's very important that we
Uh,
provide this platform to enable leaders to engage. And in this fast-paced environment, engagement and dialogue has premium, and that's the role that we're playing.
Mirek Dusek there, Managing Director of the World Economic Forum. Let's bring you some other business stories. The aid agency Oxfam is saying the increased wealth of the richest people on the planet is deepening economic and political divides. As the world's political and business...
but a lot of people do think it was like a power grab.
Oxfam says the fortunes of global billionaires jumped 16% last year to more than $18 trillion. By contrast, 1 in 4 people around the world struggle to eat regularly, and nearly half the population, they say, live in poverty.
Like I even seen this dude that I subscribed to. He was from Canada, and like he was putting out these videos called "Woke to Death," and I was like, "What?" And then he was saying that he predicted the pandemic because people was protesting about inflation, like in 2019 or something, 2018 or something. Like I don't know if I believe that. Like the dude sound kind of crazy sometimes, but like he has his own business, so like he might be right about a lot of things. Like I really don't know.
At the event at the London Stock Exchange today, Rachel Reeves will hail a golden age for the city as the FTSE 100 reaches record highs. An easing of rules for share and bond listings in London are coming into force today. There was jubilation in Dakar last night after Senegal won the Men's Africa Cup of Nations football tournament, beating hosts Morocco 1-0 after extra time in what was a dramatic and...
Then there was this guy, like there was this other doctor that was like talking about fifth generation warfare, like Robert Malone. He'd be saying that people oh man, it's really bad. Like some people believe him and then some people don't. Like there's conspiracies, you know, that people think that they did it on purpose. I just like they really think that we've reached our peak or something. Like how many billions of people can be sustained on the earth without global warming type stuff? Like if it's the technology that's the problem, all we got to do is stop burning so much oil or coal or something. Like they could use hydrogen. I don't know if solar panels are really toxic like that when they do break down, or if they do use silver. But like we don't have to have so much technology, I guess. What is really caused, like, is globalism. Globalism is causing a lot of pollution in my mind. It's not just the cars, but it is the cars. It's not just the power plants, but it is the power plants. But like they're traveling the ocean back and forth constantly in those giant boats. The motors are like bigger than your house.
Is it about the global attraction of this event and
then every now and then they tip over into the ocean, they lose everything.
With media broadcasters?
Then there's all the planes, planes. Like I don't know if they like how much pollution they release, but
Partners have grown over the last 3 editions. It was 9 in 2021, which grew to 2017.
What if the boats was using hydrogen? That'd be crazy. But like because like I read somebody's comment one time that there's a byproduct of burning hydrogen and it's too much nitrogen or something? Like, is that pollution? Because in the atmosphere, you have to have oxygen and nitrogen. I mean, that's what's made up of the atmosphere, like, that helps people breathe. But if there's an
Okay.
imbalance of too much
And who are you
nitrogen,
supporting? Are
like,
you
if that
prepared to
is
say?
the byproduct of burning hydrogen,
I was hoping,
which is
on
just
what Salam would
water
say,
with
because I
electricity been
personally
put
hate
through it.
politics so much that
It's like
I hoped he
the
would
gas
agree
that
to
comes
it,
from
No, it wasn't his day.
electrolysis.
It wasn't his day. Controversial, isn't it? It's always controversial, football. Now, don't forget, you can get
Yeah,
so
I
much
don't
more
know,
in
like,
business and economics by checking out what's on our website. And if you want to know
all I
about
know
the
is
very
that parts of the
latest
ocean
on
really
how
are
world economic
bleaching,
forum
like
and
the
what's
coral
happening
reefs.
there, then do turn to this article
The
from the
pH level,
parliamentary
if it's too
Faisal
much acid
Islam,
in the atmosphere, the
who
pH
looks
level
at
rises on,
how the
like, if what I
temperature is
saw
very,
was
very low
true.
there, of course. It
The
is a ski
the
resort, there's
um
lots of snow.
the coral reefs are
But
bleaching because the
with the
pH levels
situation
are
with regards
getting
to Greenland, it looks like
higher.
the
It's
temperature in
acidity.
many of the key
And that's like
conversations
the
there
bottom of the
will be
food
very,
chain.
very similar.
So when the
There is
bottom
a
of the food
chill
chain starts
blowing
dying
through
off,
Davos as global leaders
it's
gather
like
and
a chain
assess what
reaction.
the future could be in terms of trade and geopolitics. Stay with us here on BBC News.
But I did hear like a few times. Yeah, like I actually heard it in 2020. Like if you want to reduce the methane from cows, you could feed them red algae. It reduces their farts by like 60%. Uh, and then yeah, I don't know about all that, but um, mangroves, like those little trees by the ocean, like over there in Florida or something, and like the Everglades, like those mangroves, they look like their roots are sticking out, but they're like little trees. Those can produce more, or they suck in more carbon dioxide or something. It's something to do with those that are better than trees or something.
Quick bit of background. CES has been going since the 1960s. There'll be thousands of companies there, from the biggest names all the way down to small startups just trying to get noticed.
So yeah,
And it's
maybe
not
people
just
could
one bit.
plant more trees and it
CES
would
takes over
help.
huge parts of Las Vegas, which is going to mean a lot of walking and talking.
Like
And
I have
content,
seen
which defines
pictures of
August
people
next.
that lived like they moved to some place in the desert and they did turn it into a forest. It was looking like a desert, like it was a desert like, and they just planted so many trees that it got better. But like that's supposed to help the atmosphere.
And even health tech. Teams here
Uh,
are showing how physical AI moves from the cloud to the device, enabling faster responses, contextual awareness, and everything just smarter. But that's CES. Right next to gimmicks, you'll find tech with real heart, built for care, not just convenience.
Jenny is a fully interactive, robotic, emotional support animal.
what the
Designed
hell? They got
specifically
robot
for
dogs.
seniors with dementia and anyone else who cannot safely or practically care for a live animal. She will also respond to touch, of course, as you're doing right now, wagging her tail or moving around, and we never know exactly what she will do because she is an autonomous
Hell
robot.
no.
But not all robots are this gentle. This was one of the biggest draws on the floor.
Is that?
Unity's G1 humanoid robot.
Did you say Unitree? Yeah, I'm subscribed to Unitree. There's an Asian company making robots called Unitree. You can get one for like 6,000 or something, but all it can really do is just run around for 2.5 hours. Or
After going a few rounds with
a
the robot,
box.
you really start to appreciate tech that
It's a
does the
fighter.
thinking for you. Do you need a big flush or a little flush? This smart toilet.
There's so many robot companies coming out, y'all. There's like it ain't just Boston Dynamics that's got the government contract for the United States military.
All-important air deodorizer. And from
But
smart
they say
comfort
we're
to
like
smart
probably
sleep,
10,
we can
15,
do
20
this
years
with
away from robots
Amazon
like
One
being able to do
side,
family
smart
chores
connectivity on the other. And this
really
badge has a
good,
screen that can become an accessory, art,
which is
logo,
weird,
or just a mood.
you know.
This year,
It's like the
all about
Jetsons. It's like the cartoon with the Jetsons.
360 camera paired with the Pro 2 pocket printer. Shoot and then hold your photo in seconds. You can watch launches online all day.
But it seems like only people with money is gonna have those things. Unless, you know, like if they just...
And try things that definitely sounded better in the meeting.
It's gonna be a while, I guess.
Right next to tiny booths.
We're never gonna have
Ideas
it.
that could change your life.
They just playing with technology. If you really want to buy a Tesla robot, you could buy a Tesla robot. It's like $30,000 or something. But there's cheaper ones. That's what I'm saying. Like,
It's a glimpse into tomorrow. A showcase of ambition, creativity, and a little bit of innovative madness. And that's just the beginning.
yeah, but I had to get off Facebook. Like, I got off Facebook.
Oh my gosh.
It was annoying the crap out of me.
Who am I? Wow, is that really me?
So I stopped using Facebook in 2020. And then it was kind of messed up too, cause like the party was just getting started, man. I haven't gotten laid since 2020. I was actually partying, having a good time. 2019.
NetCredit is here to say yes, even when other lenders won't.
Like, I made some progress in 2018, and then I was really proud of myself.
NetCredit. Credit to the people.
And then it all just went to shit again. And I'm like, what the fuck? But we're just supposed to forget about it and enjoy our life, right? Don't let it mess you up psychologically. Like, in your mind. Put the thing, like, you gotta let it go. Just pretend it never happened. Retard max it. I don't really think we are a virus on the earth. We're the earth's offspring. Animals have been on the planet so long that we are what we are. We're living, breathing human beings with a soul, with a sun spirit. You know, you're much more than just a wage slave or whatever you want to, like there's people with a positive attitude, then there's people with a negative attitude. There's like optimistic people, and then pessimistic people. Then there's realists that are in the middle. And like, you can choose to be one or the other. You can pull yourself out of one or the other. And then it's contagious to be around people. Like, it ain't just, you know, positivity is contagious. Negativity is contagious. So like, if somebody's being negative, they're just like, they think it's normal because they've talked to people that say negative things or whatever. Like, you know, like, it's in the family type stuff. Like your family could be super positive, and then you develop the attitude to be super positive. And so, I mean, like, you can pull yourself out of it. You can be a better, like you can be a better example for other people. You don't have to just
It's warm and it's sunny towards the west, but a very different story further east. That cold is affecting.
you don't just have to keep your negative attitude. You know, there is like toxic negativity, then there's toxic positivity, you know, like it is such a thing to be too optimistic, to be too positive. But learn to have fun again, like, fake it till you make it type of thing. I guess you can, like, learn to enjoy nature again. You'll be surprised. It'll just come out of like when you least expect it type thing. Welcome to the BBC. We don't talk about 2020 anymore, mate.
BBC News, I'm Karen Giannoni. President Trump doubles down on plans to take over Greenland. He posts, "Now it is time and it will be done." The Prime Minister will address the nation.
I guess half the world gonna become America. That's messed up, right?
European allies with tariffs for resisting his plan.
Then I was listening to some dude yesterday from Russia talking about America's acting like Russia now.
Well, here we are on the main podium here at Dakar, where later on today we'll be crowning our champions. But before that, we've got one more stage to go, just over 100 kilometers around Yanbu, and anything can happen. But before that, Hannah, take us through the last show.
I can't believe we're already at the final. It's gone so quickly. 2 weeks ago since we started here on this very stage. Today in the show, we're going to have interviews and portraits with Dakar 2026 winners. Plus, we're going to bring you highlights across all of the different categories from the most beautiful stage of this year's edition.
Yeah, but I've been lonely. I've been lonely. I don't hang out with nobody. I'm a loser. I'm one of those people that shouldn't be confining myself the way I do. I was already kind of messed up before Corona. It's because of what happened to my mom. She died from alcoholism, or the pills could have had something to do with it, like antidepressants, muscle relaxers type stuff, mixing it with a beer, but it also could have been her divorce. But she was like, no, they got a divorce because she was drinking in the evening, but she probably would have been better if she would have had a job or something. So like, if you're in a relationship, well, I mean, she would she would clean houses. She would clean houses like on the side, so that's how she made like extra money.
I am stuck between a rock.
But like, you know, like traditionally the woman would stay at home, but it's not like that anymore because everything got so expensive since women have their rights since 1965. And it's like they're taking advantage of 2 people working instead of 1 type of thing. At least that's what I heard. I don't know if it's true, but a lot of women choose to follow a career these days instead of making a family. And I respect that because my mom was the type that kind of stayed at home. And then having some responsibility is good, so you don't be I don't know, y'all. It's just like I kind of wish weed was legalized a lot earlier, because then less people would have died because of alcohol. Because I knew something was gonna happen. Like like I had gotten married, and like I remember telling my wife, something's gonna happen, I don't feel right, and I didn't know what it was. And like we was on my way to get some phone minutes. I got another phone or something, but it wasn't too long after that my mom had called me and told me that her liver was bad. She got some bad news from the doctor, and then like I told her I didn't believe in it, like she could get better. But probably maybe if she would have, like if I would have did my own research, like I could have helped her, but I didn't. Like I went through like I ended up breaking up with my wife, and then like I started drinking again, so like it made me sad and ignorant, and then I was like being stupid. Um, but yeah, like I learned later. See, I had that survivor's guilt thing. Like it fucked me up in the head. Um, cause like I felt like why didn't I try to help her a lot better? And then I helped myself feel better by thinking, you know, people have their own freedom, they have their own right. You can't feel sorry for what somebody decides to do with their life or whatever. Like it's called freedom, you know. Like I'm done telling people don't smoke or don't drink and stuff like that, cuz like I've became just like that myself. So like I know what it's like. Life is stressful, and if you want to smoke, if you want to drink, if you want to do drugs, like any kind of drug, that's your fucking choice, you know. Drugs are for grown-ups type thing. But you can get better if you stop drinking alcohol. You make some smoothies, like get some lemons and stuff, lemons and oranges, and
You work hard. You deserve a mobile
you can
bank
make
that
some
will only
beets.
work
You
for
could put
you. With up
some
to
vegetables up
$300
in
in
there or
overdraft
something, like
protection
some
and
greens,
early paydays. GoToBank, the mobile
like
bank that works for you.
celery type
Open an
stuff,
account at gotobank.com.
grapefruits, and
Finally,
you
from
can
over
clean your
100
liver out a
fantastic
little
gems
bit.
with
It
Winona's
can regenerate.
bioidentical hormone
It can
replacement
get better.
therapy. Over 80% of Winona
You
patients
just
get
have to
totals
clean it
until
out
late
with
in
like apple
approximately
cider
3 months.
vinegar and like
Take the
all
first
the
step toward feeling well
smoothies type
and you
stuff.
again with Winona.
Um,
When your dog's superhero moment goes sideways.
so
Pumpkin Now, the urgent pay service from
like
Pumpkin
that's
Pet
why
Insurance
like
can
I
pay you
didn't.
for eligible care before
Well,
you
like I
collect.
never did do my research like a long time ago, but like she used to be fasting and just drinking water. She didn't want to be fat, and like I think that had something to do with it.
Don't throw away thousands of dollars with nothing in return.
Cause I remember telling her like I didn't believe in fasting,
Without a guarantee.
but apparently like if like some folks have cleared their cancer by fasting, but like this dude like had colon cancer and he drank wheatgrass. He stopped eating and was just drinking wheatgrass, and then his cancer disappeared, like in his colon, like a few months later or something. I don't know if it was a month or what. But
Here's our toll-free number. Call 866-204-0599. That's 866-204-0599. Call now.
damn, I was gonna say something, but I forgot it again.
And so it comes down to this, the 13th and final stage of Dakar 2026. Ricky Brabeck with a 3-minute 20 lead
Dakar.
over Luciano Benavides, who got a bit of brotherly encouragement this morning from two-time winner Kevin.
They need to push hard, and they need to believe until the end, until the last kilometer. Relax, motivated, one last push.
Just 105 kilometres separate one of those two riders from Dakar glory. Brabeck, of course, with the advantage, but he does have to open today. It's a short loop around Yanbu with a mix of sandy and rocky terrain. Maximum concentration will be required all the way to the finish line. Before we get to the title fight, let's check in with some of our other winners on an emotional final day. Now, many of you will remember Benji Mello's absolute devastation when he lost Original by Matul on the final day last year. Well, the Frenchman turned those tears of despair into tears of joy today as he finally won the Dakar's most hardcore category. finishing 14.5 minutes clear of the impressive Josep Pedro.
I used to have this girlfriend, and I would forget what I was saying sometimes, and she'd be like, well, it must have not been important.
Left a big impression on people. It certainly left one on me. Last year was really tough, but since the beginning, this is what I've come for. I've been chasing this victory for years, obviously. I dreamed about it. And now it's done.
It was a superb first Dakar for Preston Campbell, who finished as the best rookie of this 48th edition. The American coming home in 10th place overall, only missing out on victory in Rally 2 by 4.5 minutes. Preston clearly has a bright future in this sport.
Oh yeah, I had a dream. I used to listen, like back in like 2010, like I heard Alex Jones on the radio. It was like 2009 or something. I heard him on the radio, and then like I was listening to him on YouTube for a couple years on and off. I thought that he was funny, like he would make me laugh sometimes, but some of his conspiracy theories was like affecting me in a negative way. Because I remember them talking, like I remember that thing with like Jesse Ventura and this other woman. It was like quote unquote doctor. She could have been a real doctor, I don't know. But they kept talking about like some virus, and then they were showing like a bunch of plastics
with a loved one in a nursing home.
Coffins. They was calling it coffins, like the stuff with FEMA and everything. I don't know if FEMA had anything to do with the like if they actually helped people or something during the pandemic, but like I remember them with Katrina, like the hurricane with Katrina. Man, like like he kept talking about like FEMA camps and stuff, and then like that must have been in 2010. And like a lot of people, they don't believe Alex Jones and stuff, like is a conspiracy theorist type dude.
You're in business, aren't you? There's the money.
And
I'm not asking for anything.
like I had stopped listening to him when he just kept repeating the same stuff over and over again. Like he was obsessed with some weird stuff. And he like kept pointing the finger at rich people, the elites or something, and I'm like, I don't know. And then he like it seemed like he would be making stuff up, like that stuff with that stuff that he got in trouble for, like that Sandy stuff.
Your father refused to sell me barbed wire. I've got to have it to protect our land.
And
Do I look like a
so I just got tired of listening to him. Like in 2013, like I'd stopped listening to him on YouTube.
Just so I can mark off the place where I want to work.
Cause he was just putting me in a negative mood. Like making you fearful, like you don't want to go out, you don't trust nobody type stuff.
Because I want what my father didn't have.
And that really stops you from making positive decisions in your life. Like you could start your own business in America, and like you can make a lot of money, you know, like as long as you're paying taxes or whatever.
What are you hanging on to so hard?
But like with them talking about that pandemic stuff or something, like I ended up having a dream about it. It was really weird. Like
We're strong enough now. For more bloodshed? Why don't we just stand and wait?
like in my dream I was like I was at work, and then like I got off of work, and then like I still remember the dream. Like that's what, like if you remember a dream like that, you're not gonna get deja vu. Sometimes you get deja vu because you have a dream that you forgot about, and it was actually like a premonition, something that came true that was similar to your dream, or it could come true more. So like it gives you the option to stop what you're doing. That's where I get a lot of deja vu from. Um, but like this dream about like okay, so like I was at work and then I got out of work because I remember like looking at my work and then I was yeah, I was being like I went to this place. It was like it was like a jail, but it wasn't a jail. It was like you know, cuz they kept talking about them FEMA camps or something. So it was like that. And then like I was talking to their manager or something like he was going to because like he asked me, he's like, "What are your skills? Like what are you good at?" So like they was going to give me a job or something like I was going to have to live at this place. And and like people there was sick. There was like sick people. Like they had on like I got thrown in with a bunch of people in the back. Like it was like outside, it was open air. And then like people was like laying down sick and like we didn't want to breathe on each other type stuff. Um and then I was like looking at people that was like they was really sick, like they was gonna die. And then like I just remember talking to this woman. Like I got to where I was talking to this woman that worked there, like inside, and somehow like I made it out of that place. Like I made it out, like I escaped or something. And but like I went back to work or something and then like we went like under this pond. Like we went in this lake and there was like a place like underwater. Like I went through this portal. It was like a door, but the water wouldn't go in past the door. Like it was an invisible door type thing. And like it was safe down there or something. But that was after I think that was after like I was at my mama's house and like there was some like alien spaceships. It was like some UFOs. It was like some, you know, like the silver spaceships you see on the movies and stuff. And then they shot a laser at me, like they shot a green laser at me, and like I went like up under the house, like I was trying to hide up under the house. And I think that's why I went under the water to like a bunker type thing or something. And then I think I woke up like after that. That was the dream. And then the other night I was thinking about that dream. I was like, wait, that was kind of like the 2020 pandemic. What the hell? Because the coronavirus was like people would get water in their lungs and then they couldn't breathe, they would choke and die. And like the stuff with the aliens, like it don't make no sense, but that's just symbolic for something foreign. So like a lot of times your dreams could be symbolic, but you could just be like uh, I don't know, man. Some of your dreams could be like making sense, and then sometimes they don't make sense. So you try to make sense out of it, but it doesn't make sense. But sometimes they do make sense, like over time, type of thing.
Wait a minute. Where were those fences? Across the trail. Across the cattle trail? You put fences across the cattle trail?
Yeah, that's really weird.
You can't do that. Where'd you get the wire? First thing Riker will come in for is find out who sold the wire.
And like before, like I'd had another dream, like in 2022 before Russia decided to attack Ukraine, because of NATO or whatever, like the build up of NATO on the border or something. Like Russia decided to throw the first punch or something. If you ever listen to John Mersheimer. like I had a
Still
dream
at, the number of dead is rising.
before Russia started the war in Ukraine. Like apparently the stuff started in 2014. Like it wasn't something new, but like some shit went down after 2014. It could have been like some troublemakers from another government type stuff. And you know, like they could have been paying people to kill people. And so like they started some mess or whatever. And but I don't know if that's true. It's like a conspiracy type thing. And like I had a dream that like me and my town, like we went in a bunker, like we had a bunker like around the water, and we went in the bunker when the sun went down, and like I was seeing the door close when the sun went down, like in the bunker, like, and then I woke up and I'm like, you know, that's really weird. Hello, Malachi. And then like a little bit after that, that was when Russia, like when the war started in Ukraine. Because people are afraid of the nuclear stuff, and like if you listen to Trump, Putin, whenever Putin started that stuff, like some people think that he's bluffing, but some people think that he's being honest. But it's like like a half of it is like psychological, like they trying to you know, cause he used to be a spy, so like he knows the stuff with like psychology type stuff, like but like people think that he could drop a nuclear bomb or something, and so people are afraid of they're afraid of Russia.
Get started today at Ancestry. CIDP is no walk in the park.
That's true.
But I take good
But yeah, like
Same. It's the first
it's strange sometimes you have dreams that could seem like they came true in a way.
I have a chance to live vividly. Bitcoin High True Love has been proven to
And so like I kind of don't.
symptoms getting worse.
I don't know. Sometimes like I like it. Sometimes I don't.
That have been sanctuary cities that have not enforced the law for a long time.
Because a lot of your dreams, like one guy said that was live streaming, he was like, "What kind of dreams you had? Was they your desires, your anxieties, your fears, or something?" Because usually that's what it is.
People want immigration enforcement. They want people who have committed crimes, illegal immigrants.
But like I had this
focusing on that with their messaging. I think they understand that's where the
like I had this one woman come over from Facebook, and like I had deja vu while she was chilling with me.
their measures in Minneapolis and other blue cities is actually not
Like she remembered me from high school, like she liked me in high school type of thing. But I didn't know that she liked me. She was like she was she was a junior when I was a senior, so she was in 11th grade when I was in 12th grade. So like I never did have a class with her, but she remembered me. And like whenever she was chilling with me and like we was smoking weed, like I had deja vu, and like it reminded me of this dream, and like it was like some dude, like it could have been her boyfriend or something, was like all pissed off or something. And then so like I had told her about the deja vu, and like I didn't tell her about the dream. But like we ended up having sex, and like she cried after like we got done, or like in the middle of us having sex. Like she blamed it on her back because she had surgery to remove, like she had a breast reduction, so like she had really big boobs, and then like it was causing her back problems, so she had a breast reduction, and like she had like a C cup left or something. It was like I didn't know her boobs was that big, and like she blamed it on her back. And then I had a feeling like it wasn't her back because like it was really weird. Like she gave me a pill before, like it was like one of them Klonopins or something. It was like a pain pill or like an anxiety pill or something. And like she started playing this music. She was like, we could have sex because like she was telling me that like before that, like she was telling me that I needed a condom or something. So I had bought condoms. And then when she finally said, okay, we could have sex, like she didn't care about the condom. She was like, you don't have to use a condom. And like that was a red flag right there. And then
Well, look, I mean, there is an element to try to.
like she was playing this song. It was like don't tell him, don't tell him, don't tell him, don't tell him. And I'm like she started playing this song like from her phone, like, and then she started crying and I'm like, oh hell no, like I'm not inviting this woman over ever again. So like I told her I quit smoking weed, and then like I took her off my friends list on Facebook, and then like I kept seeing her boyfriend or like her ex-boyfriend comment on her Facebook or something. And it was weird. Like you can't even trust like because like I told her she was pretty, like I thought she was pretty. And then she wanted to hang out with me and stuff, but I mean if she had a boyfriend,
I'm the St. Jude patient. Home means everything.
she shouldn't have been
She is just my whole heart.
like acting the way she was, right?
After Noah's
Um,
original
but I don't
diagnosis,
know if she really had a boyfriend. It could have been her ex-boyfriend. She could have not really had a boyfriend. You know how people leave their options open sometimes, and they're like, "Oh, we're not really seeing each other, but we're kind of still used to love each other," type of thing. And then what about the future? Or like I'll hang out with you whenever I hang out with you, type of thing. And I'm like I didn't want to ask. Like I done got to the point in my life because I was 28 years old. Like this was when, like yeah, this was 2014. Like I done got to the point to where, like if I'm talking to a woman and like if I start getting those red flags, like she lying or something, like I'm not going to ask her why and then like all that stuff, because if they start lying, it's just create more lies and more lies and more lies. So I mean, like, why are you lying to me, type of thing. So like it's not even worth it. So just stop talking to them. It's like the best thing,
I thank
you know.
guys from the bottom of my heart. Everybody that gets to St. Jude, they have to keep doing what they're doing because
But
without them, these
I guess I could be just overthinking,
Join with your credit or debit card for only $19 a month.
or I could be right.
We'll send you this St. Jude
But
t-shirt you can proudly wear to show your
it's like
It has been a very tough journey.
could have been one of those dramatic soap opera like relationships,
I don't know where Macy would be.
and I've already had those type of relationships and I'm tired of them. So I'd rather not have a relationship than go through that soap opera drama like situation, you know what I'm saying?
for more children. Please donate now.
So when a story breaks, we're not chasing a lead. We're already there. I'm Marianne.
And like when I do, like the 4 times that I have asked a
So
woman,
many mesothelioma lawyers on television. How do you
like
choose
in
the right
public
one?
or something, like the first thing I ask is, like, are you single?
$30 billion was set aside for mesothelioma.
And if they say no,
If you've been diagnosed,
they have a boyfriend or they're engaged or something, like I walk away. Like I'm not gonna. But like part of me started thinking, well, like why don't we just be friends? It's like, like yeah, we could be friends. We could be friends. What if she doesn't have a boyfriend in the future or something? Like I probably missed out on that. But it's because I have post-traumatic stress disorder. I have PTSD from dealing with women's ex-boyfriends. Like like it's annoying. This is like when you're young and you decide to go through a bunch of relationships and like your hormones are going nuts and yeah, there's gonna be certain times where stuff like that happens, and then it's going to affect you in a negative way, and then like eventually you're not gonna want to go through that.
This trial had a 100% complete response rate.
So that's why people end up staying single for a long time.
Other tumor types. Please support Stand Up to Cancer so the clinical trials.
Because they don't like dealing with that drama or being lied to, or like if you like just even asking somebody if they're serious, and if they're not really serious, they're just trying to keep their options open, like that can be super annoying. It's like, oh, you're just okay, so we're just using each other for sex. It's basically, and I'm tired of that. Like I done went through all that. And it's awesome, yeah, like it's awesome, but I mean it's only awesome for a little while. You're gonna get like if you're a lover, you're gonna want to love. If you don't have love, it's gonna make you depressed.
With almost 100 billion euros of levies on the table.
So then you have to deal with your depression.
To a fresh record high as markets fret over a rising crisis in transatlantic relations. Out in the cold, the tariff shock overshadows the World Economic Forum.
So it's better to be picky. It's better to be picky when you're younger, so you don't develop that PTSD.
Also in the program, striking it
post-traumatic stress disorder. It's gonna stop you from talking to more people in the future. So like it's best that you don't take it so seriously when you're younger. Just have fun, because that's what they was doing. They just wanted to have fun. It's just that people's emotions, when you believe in people,
the president of the European Council's announced an emergency,
you know, like hanging by a string or whatever.
Retaliatory measures after
that's when they get their feelings hurt.
Against countries opposed to his
so it's like you can't really blame
on Saturday, President Trump vowed
their ex-boyfriend. Like it's just dysfunction is what it is. It's called dysfunction. Mismanagement type stuff.
Now, these could later,
you know, like in the dating world, you hear leading people on. You don't want to lead them on.
Considering drawing up retaliatory measures by hitting the US with this much, 93 billion euros worth of tariffs, or restricting American companies from the bloc.
So like I should have known better.
Anti-coercion instrument, which is favored by French President Emmanuel Macron.
You made a video yesterday.
Damn. Warned of a potential dangerous downward spiral in relations with the US. And the Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer, spoke to President Trump on the phone late yesterday.
Yeah, 2020 messed up a lot of people mentally.
Allies is wrong. The Trump administration, though, is for now.
You have to just have gratitude that you're alive, and then you have to forgive everybody and everything, and say I'm sorry and for what I said and everything. And you just have to try to be normal again. So
our national security. We are not going to
go out and enjoy some fresh air, touch grass, sit on the ground, do some arts and crafts. Like it's okay to talk to your friends as long as they're good friends, but if they're bad friends, you know, this just it's not worth it sometimes.
We are the hottest country in the world. We are the strongest country in the world.
Well, as you've been hearing, the Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer, is due to hold a press conference in Downing Street after he has delivered a speech to the nation to set out the UK's approach to working with allies in its response to Trump's tariffs. Meanwhile, EU leaders will be hoping to speak to President Trump in person when he attends the World Economic Forum later this week. Here's our economics editor, Faisal Islam, who's in Davos.
Donald Trump has done some pretty extraordinary things in terms of world economic policy over the past year, but what we've seen this weekend is beyond precedent, it's beyond parody, it's kind of beyond reality. And the reaction we're seeing around the world kind of reflects that. Yes, a sort of hope that it goes away, that this is another example of something that Donald Trump will tweet and then forget about or chicken out. Trump always chickens out is the theory, but it's such a serious issue in terms of coercion of European allies over a piece of European territory, that it's being taken extremely seriously, being called a form of economic war, essentially. And on top of that, you have the economic impacts from a renewed trade war. You know, many of these countries that have been hit with tariffs over the past year, they just started to hope that this impact had washed through, the economies are still growing, things were looking okay, they diversified their trade. Now a new set of tariffs, questions about the trade deals that already exist, not least with the UK too, and all of that centered around Donald Trump, who will be here alongside other world leaders who will try and get their questions answered on this extraordinary plan around Greenland, and watch the financial markets too. They don't like this sort of turbulence dividing the Western alliance. Remember, it's Europe that owns most of America's debt.
And we'll hear from the Managing Director of the World Economic Forum in a moment. But first, what does this all mean for EU-UK trade relations with the US? David Hennick is UK Director at the European Centre for International Political Economy.
Well, at the moment, there's no sign of these going away. Is the first take on this, and if the president does impose tariffs on a number of European countries, there's no doubt in my mind that at the very least the EU will respond with this package that in fact they developed last year of tariffs on the US. I think there will be quite a lot of caution around in Europe about escalating this too much, to try to avoid the economic damage as far as possible, and also in the belief that they can make Trump back down, given also a negative response from the financial markets. But there's no doubt that things, for the time being, things are going to get worse in terms of US-EU relations. And yes, this is an unprecedented development.
Ursula von der Leyen, European Commission President, and other EU leaders are said to be meeting with President Trump privately in Davos. He arrives Wednesday and is there on Thursday. Let's just talk about the worst case scenario for a moment. If there's no sort of diplomatic improvement this week, and the anti-coercion instrument, as it's known, the European nuclear button, is hit when it comes to tariffs, where are we headed?
Well, I think that in the first instance, if the US imposes tariffs of 10% on the UK and certain EU member states and Norway at the start of February, then I think that at the very least the EU will respond with retaliatory tariffs. That will be the first thing that happens. I don't think at that point the EU anti-coercion instrument will be used. I think that will be held in reserve for if the president then follows through in June with 25% tariffs, at which point that will have given the EU more time to prepare. And I think that what we may then see is actions in other fields other than tariffs. For example, restrictions on US companies in public procurement in the EU. And clearly you then see the route to an escalating trade war. Now, in fact, I don't think the second part of that will happen. I think that there will be resolution within the coming weeks. We should also bear in mind there is an upcoming Supreme Court ruling on President Trump's tariff powers. That could come as early as this week. That could also change this picture. So I'm expecting actually a pretty heavy couple of weeks in terms of news. And I think there's at least an even chance that actually none of this happens, but obviously we have to prepare for the worst.
David Hennig there from the European Centre for International Political Economy. Well, financial markets are on edge due to the escalation in trade tensions. The main market in Japan, the Nikkei 225, has now finished its trading session. For most of it, it was down around 1%. It's just closed down by 0.6%. Safe haven assets like gold and silver are hitting fresh record highs. The dollar has lost ground against the Japanese yen. It's also seen as a safe haven. Jane Foley, who's head of foreign exchange strategy at Rabobank, told me the prospect of a trade war will trouble markets.
Well, of course, a trade war is not good for anybody. We could see our economies weakening, and of course the US economy too. That could mean a lot more inflation for the US consumer, which is something that Donald Trump doesn't want ahead of the midterm elections later on in the year. So that is something that the European authorities can probably use to their advantage. They know he won't want reciprocal tariffs from Europe against the US right now, but the financial markets will be jumpy going into this. This is about Article 5 of the NATO treaty, something to do with basically Europe's defence, whether or not that treaty will come to an end, as the Danish authorities warned a couple of weeks ago, if Trump were to land US troops in Greenland. And of course that exposes Europe to the threat of Russia, for instance. So this isn't something that Europe wants, and I think it's hoping that by standing together and by pushing back on Trump, that they could potentially come to a different arrangement and come to something which would de-escalate these tensions. But meanwhile, as you mentioned, safe haven, gold, silver, they're back at very strong highs, having performed well last year, and stock market futures are pretty weak this morning in the red. And of course it's a US holiday today, so the market won't be able to gauge fully the US market reaction until tomorrow.
And in some ways, a 24-hour pause for Wall Street may be quite welcome at this point, would you say?
Well, it gives the market time to think this through. Now, of course, as we've been hearing, there is also the danger that often Trump does push back or step back from his initial threats. And I think there will be a lot of hope that this is what will happen again with respect to Greenland. And that might stay a lot of traders' hands with respect to that, rather than go straight into panic mode. There may be a little bit of pragmatism with respect to that, but certainly gold and silver very well supported this morning.
Jane Foley there from Rabobank. Still to come. We'll be in Davos, where the tariff shock is overshadowing the World Economic Forum, with crunch talks between Trump and European leaders expected. Around the world and across the UK, you're with BBC News.
Coronavirus, no! No.
So this is all outdoor.
I got hungry, man. I gotta give me something to eat.
What are the turntables? What are they here?
Yes.
On the breeze box.
Right.
That's perfect.
Helps keep down the vibrations.
Rock steady.
Rock steady.
A few hundred people
How's
gather
it
at
so
Gabriel's
cold?
place every Sunday to listen to slow tempo roots reggae. You've got neighbours on either side,
Yes,
right?
yes.
I mean, what do they think about the
Well,
noise?
we call this Reggae Mountain.
Reggae Mountain?
Yes, so a lot of reggae music, you know, up here, you know? So it's very...
Reggae Mountain, yeah, Reggae Mountain. Listen to some music out.
Yeah.
Reggae Mountain.
Reggae Mountain.
So anyone who comes up here, they must understand.
Yes.
I got some
So what's your favorite line?
some pork ribs
Yeah.
and some beans, some olives.
I like that one.
Olives.
You're with Business. I'm Sally Van Nock. If we return to our top story and the latest tariff announcements coming from Donald Trump and the implications for relations between Europe, the US and NATO that will overshadow the annual World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. It officially starts today. President Trump himself will be leading the largest ever US delegation to the
Davos,
event.
Switzerland. Y'all remember the stuff about the WEF, the
Thursday,
World
he was
Economic
to give a
Forum,
speech.
and
Also,
Klaus
he is
Schwab.
having private talks with several people and key leaders and players while he's there. He's expected to be meeting with EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen and other EU leaders. I talked to the managing director of the World Economic Forum, Mirek Dusek. He began by outlining the importance of this year's gathering.
This week we are gathering a record number of leaders.
I was hangry. I just needed to
from
eat.
around the world, including 65 heads of state and government. President Trump is coming to the annual meeting with the largest ever delegation of cabinet members as well. We will have a number of leaders from around the world, from Europe, from other regions.
Damn.
Living in very contested times, geopolitically, geoeconomically, and so definitely geoeconomics, the state of the world economy, will be very much on the agenda and will be a big part of the dialogues happening here this week.
Yeah, I mean, Davos is...
Yeah, I went to
about
Wendy's and
global
got that
collaboration,
Corona.
Working together, finding solutions to the world's pressing problems. But this year, surely, it's all about the great disruption, isn't it? With the key player in all of that, President Trump, arriving on Wednesday.
No, it is really,
I should have kept going out, but I didn't want to get people sick. So that's what messed me up.
We've entered in a more contested economy. We are now at a very important moment with important developments on the trade agenda. We will have many of the protagonists, the stakeholders here this week. We will hear from Commission President von der Leyen on Tuesday. We will have Chancellor Merz here. Sorry. We will have President Macron here. So it will be a very important moment in terms of economic diplomacy.
And what is your thoughts on the future for Europe and for Greenland? Do you believe that the US will take over Greenland? And if so, what's the implications for Europe and NATO?
No, the European agenda has been a big part of the World Economic Forum and the meeting in Davos. The world is changing. It is more competitive. We have a long track record of really looking at the place of Europe in the world with a lot of foreign ministers and leaders of governments from Europe. So the role of Europe geopolitically and also security-wise, we'll have a number of sessions that are going to be addressing that here this week.
And does, when the likes of President Trump announce
nasty,
it's a gift for you, isn't it? No matter what the outcome or the impact on your event, it puts you on the map. I mean, not so recently, people were talking about the point of the World Economic Forum. It's just a gathering of very rich and wealthy business people and world leaders, and it's a talking shop, but very little action afterwards.
Because there is such a high velocity diplomacy right now happening in the world. And of course, as President Trump is representing the largest economy in the world, it's very important that we provide this platform to enable leaders to engage. And in this fast-paced environment, engagement and dialogue has premium, and that's the role that we're playing.
Mirek Dusek, Managing Director of the World Economic Forum. Let's bring you some other business stories. The aid agency Oxfam says the increased wealth of the richest people on the planet is deepening economic and political divides. As the world's political and business elite gather in Davos, Oxfam says the fortunes of global billionaires jumped 16% last year to more than $18 trillion. By contrast, it points out 1 in 4 people worldwide struggle to eat regularly, and nearly half of the population lives in poverty.
How do they get so much richer? It's just because they invest in the stock market.
One of its slowest rates in decades last year, but at 5%, it hit government expectations. The figures highlight the continuing weakness of the domestic market. Last week, Beijing reported its biggest ever trade surplus with the rest of the world. However, a continuing property slump is still hitting consumer confidence. Here in the UK, the Chancellor will say cutting red tape for firms listing their shares on the London Stock Exchange is reinvigorating the City of London after early signs of a revival. At an event at the LSE today, Rachel Reeves will hail a golden age for the city as the FTSE 100 reaches record highs. An easing of rules for share and bond listings in London are coming to effect today. There was jubilation in Dakar last night after Senegal won the Men's Africa Cup of Nations football tournament, beating hosts Morocco 1-0 after extra time in what was a dramatic and at times chaotic final. The Africa Cup of Nations is now not just the most important tournament in Africa, but it's also emerging as increasingly profitable competition for the Confederation of African Football, who said it's seen a 90% increase in commercial revenues for the Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco, calling it the most successful commercial story in the history of African football. Rana Ghoshal is the Sports Business Institute.
Man, olives are so good.
With that institute in Barcelona, and author of a report on the economic impact of AFCON, and says this one has been really good for all involved.
This particular edition has been good for the at multiple levels, for the host country Morocco, for CAF, for the African people as well. So for the host country, if you look at it, I mean, it's the amount of money they have spent in the civic and sporting infrastructure. This kind of justifies the exemplary, execution of this whole event has really justified the spend, and they have given a statement saying we are ready for the 2030 FIFA World Cup.
Well, I was just going to say, because of course Morocco, Portugal and Spain are hosting the Men's World Cup in 2030, and where last night's final took place is one of the sort of showcase stadiums, isn't it?
Yes, and that is, and the biggest stadium, the supposedly biggest stadium in the world with 115,000 audience, is yet to come in, the Stade Hassan Stadium too.
So
That's
how can this competition go even further in momentum? Is it about the global attraction of this event and viewing figures and sort of deals they might do with media broadcasters?
Yes, of course. I mean, this particular edition, if you see, the amount of commercial partners have grown over the last three editions. It was 9 in 2021, which grew to 2017 sponsor partners in 2023. In 2025, that reached up to 23. And I'm sure this is only going to grow on from here. So the amount of monies they have recovered from sponsorship is enormous. So it's again a commercial success story of a commercial property. In broadcast, for example, they have had 20 deals in the European region, which is amazing. I think they have really done a superb job about it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And who are you supporting? Are you prepared to say?
I was hoping Mohamed Salah wins it because I personally like the guy so much that I hoped Egypt wins it, but
It wasn't
again,
his day.
Spicy.
It wasn't his day. There's always winners and losers. There's always winners and losers. Rana Gosal there from Sports Business Institute, Barcelona. And don't forget that you can get the latest business and economics news not only on this program, Business Today, but also throughout the day online. Just follow the business section of the BBC News website or app. And as you would expect today, it is dominated today with news of the tariffs war that could spark between the European Union and the United States and the UK and Norway. But read all about it there on the BBC News website.
I'm headed to CES in Las Vegas, the biggest tech show on the planet, and I'm going to take you with me.
Olives in my potato salad. What?
Vegas, straight away it's loud. There's no easing you in. As soon as you stepped off the plane, it's as if someone's decided the
That's
volume
different.
for you. Quick bit of background. CES has been going since the 1960s. There'll be thousands of companies there, from the biggest names all the way down to small startups just trying to get noticed. And it's not just one building. CES takes over huge parts of Las Vegas, which is going to mean a lot of walking, talking, and hunting for the tech which defines what is next. And what is next is crystal clear this year. Everywhere you look, artificial intelligence is no longer a feature, it's the foundation. It's slipping into wearables, smart homes, and even health tech. Teams here are showing how the physical AI moves from the cloud to the device, enabling faster responses, contextual awareness, and everything just smarter. But that's CES. Right next to gimmicks, you'll find tech with real heart, built for care, not just convenience.
Jenny is a fully interactive, robotic, emotional support animal designed specifically for seniors with dementia and anyone else who cannot safely or practically care for a live animal. She will respond to touch, of course, as you're doing right now, wagging her tail or moving around, and we never know exactly what she will do because she is an autonomous robot.
But not all robots are this gentle. This was one of the biggest draws on the floor. Unity's G1 humanoid robot. It's reading movement and calculating punches with algorithm-powered precision. But this human still took the win. Well, sort of. That's how we do it. After going a few rounds with a robot, you really start to appreciate tech that does the thinking for you. Do you need a big flush or a little flush?
I'm
This
trying to
smart
eat.
toilet relieves you of that decision by working out how long you've been sitting for. It also runs automatic urine
I'm trying to eat,
analysis,
nigga.
as well as providing a heated seat and an all-important air deodorizer. And from smart
Man gotta
comfort to
eat.
smart style, meet the two-faced watch, timeless on one side and smart connectivity on the other. And this bag has a screen that can become an accessory, art, logo, or just a mood. This year, it's all about fusion, like the Insta360 camera paired with the Pro 2 pocket printer. Shoot and then hold
I
your
miss
photo
working
in
with real
seconds.
men. I'm tired of talking all that gay stuff, though.
You
Y'all
can watch races
nasty.
online all day. Here, you actually get to try stuff.
Hey, yo, you there?
See what needs further tweaking. And try things that definitely sounded better in the meeting.
Pretty people
It's
problems.
massive brands right next to tiny booths with ideas that could change your
You know
life.
what's a beautiful
Or just
person
look
problem?
good for 5 minutes.
You get around
Huge
folks and then
halls,
all they talk about is sex.
crowds, the whole world's imagination crammed onto the show floors.
That's why you see some beautiful people, they don't want to be in society anymore. They're always
It's a
alone.
glimpse into tomorrow. A showcase of ambition, creativity, and a little bit of innovative madness.
Never thought I'd have a
And
boss
that's
man, and yet
just
like
the
he just
beginning.
kept talking about sex. Weirdest stuff ever.
If you were recently injured in a car accident, you need to hear this. Hiring an attorney could get you 3.5 times more compensation. If you don't have an attorney, stop now and contact Find Legal immediately. We make finding an accident attorney fast, easy, and hassle-free. Call 1-800-300-3004 to get connected with an attorney in minutes. No upfront costs, no legal fees unless they win. Call 1-800-300-3004.
Are you spending too much time in the bathroom? After years of straining and pushing due to an enlarged prostate, your bladder loses its flexibility and strength. And none of these common prostate supplements do.
I don't know why, but ugly people like talking about sex around beautiful people.
Ideal Prostate Plus supports
It's fucking
both
annoying.
the prostate and the bladder. Call now to find out how you can get your risk-free bottle of Ideal Prostate
Jealousy is a
Plus,
motherfucker. It's called envy.
and our comprehensive guide to prostate and bladder health. Try Ideal Prostate
Now that I'm getting old, I really don't care anymore.
And if it doesn't help you
But I'm not
sleep
gonna
through the night, reduce
serve people that
urgency,
disrespect.
frequency, and that humiliating dribbling and leaking. Just return the unused portion, and your credit card will never be charged. for
Some
the
people
product.
just don't have any manners, is what it is.
It's going to work for you.
I don't worry about if there's a bathroom nearby. I'm getting a good night's sleep. Oh, it's amazing.
Call 1-800-665-8134.
I should have been like, you a weird ass dude. Are you cuck?
But I'm not ashamed to say I shed a tear on that day.
You're a
You've
cuck.
achieved something every little girl now dreams of. Representation is incredibly important because you've got to see it. To be
You
it.
cuckold with your
I'm
wife.
incredibly privileged to have
I don't even want to talk about your wife.
women's sport grow into this incredible force. And now we've got the next generation waiting in the wings.
You started
to
it.
hopefully take it further.
It's better to let it out than hold it in.
Hello there. Much of the north and east of North America is very cold at the moment. We've seen that cold move southwards over the weekend as far as Florida with reports of some snow in the Florida Panhandle. The heaviest snow continues to cause some disruption around the Great Lakes.
Crushed it. Crushed it.
Into lots of New England as well. So very cold towards northern and eastern areas. Further west, though, temperatures are a little above the seasonal norm, especially across California, but even across the Pacific Northwest and into British Columbia, where we'll see widespread dry and sunny weather here to start the new week. We drift further south, we're into warmer conditions for California and the Great Basin. Temperatures in LA, for example, hovering around the mid-70s in Fahrenheit. And fairly mild for Seattle with variable cloud, but also some spells of sunshine. Phoenix around 25 Celsius there with widespread sunshine. So you can see it's warmer and it's sunnier towards the west, but a very different story further east. That cold is affecting much of the eastern seaboard, further snow around the Great Lakes in towards New England and Quebec, and staying cold with below average temperatures in towards parts of the deep south, especially towards the southeast corner for Florida. Temperatures will begin to recover though in Florida as we move into parts of the week, but very cold in the northeast.
Damn, it's cold out there. It is really cold. Here at the BBC. This is BBC News.
Live from London, this is BBC News. I'm Karen Giannoni. A deadly collision in Spain. At least 39 people die after two high-speed trains crash. President Trump doubles down on plans to take over Greenland. He posts, "Now it is time, and it will be done." The British Prime
What the
Minister
heck? People keep dying in Spain from their high-speed trains.
threatens to hit European allies with tariffs.
It just happened like a few years ago, didn't it?
I'm Sally Bundle. Coming up in business.
Now another one?
Markets are on edge as trade tensions
Well, they got them going
escalate.
around this
The EU is
curve,
prepared
and that's
to
why it
address
flies off the
potential
tracks.
retaliation against Trump's Greenland tariff threat.
Crazy.
Prince Harry returns to the UK's High Court as the trial against the Daily Mail newspaper publisher is about to begin. And coming up, a dramatic final in the men's football. Senegal beat host Morocco in the Africa Cup of Nations.
I just ate some food.
Hello, the number of people who have died in a train crash in Spain has risen to 39. That's according to the Interior Ministry. 152 people have been injured. Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez says his country is in deep pain from the disaster. It happened near the town of Adamuz when a train heading towards Madrid derailed and hit another on the other side of the tracks. The cause isn't yet known. This report from Barry Caffrey.
It was heading from Malaga to Madrid.
Between the two high-speed trains in southern Spain, which happened shortly before.
See, they got those high-speed trains close to each other.
A train en route from Malaga to Madrid derailed near to the city of Córdoba in Andalusia, crossing onto the other track where it hit an oncoming train.
Sound like high-speed trains suck.
One passenger described the moment of impact as feeling like an earthquake and said survivors had smashed windows to escape. Military personnel were dispatched to help with the rescue effort.
Damn, man. How does China deal with their high-speed train? It probably ain't right next to another high-speed train.
The journey from Malaga said around 300 passengers were on board the train that first derailed.
It probably just go one way and then goes the other way.
Had around 100 passengers. Though the cause of the crash is not yet known, Spain's
39 people died in a
told reporters
Spain train crash.
that the derailment had happened on a straight section of track. While rail travel is generally very safe and reliable in Spain, this incident will no doubt bring back memories of a derailment in 2013. When a train left the tracks outside Santiago de Compostela in the northwest of the country. 79 people were killed in what was the worst rail accident in Spain for more than 40 years. King Felipe and Queen Letizia said they were following news of this latest incident with great concern.
Yeah, it was in 2013, I
Spain's
guess.
Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez said the government was working with the emergency services to help those affected. Barry Caffrey, BBC News.
Well, let's go to Spain now and speak to Simon Hunter, who's a freelance journalist based in Madrid. Hello to you, Simon. Thanks for being with us. Terrible news there in Spain. Just tell us the latest.
Well, the latest is that the death toll has risen to 39 victims, but the Transport Minister, Oscar Puente, has just warned that that number could still rise. There are more than 150 people in hospital
Yo,
at the
what up,
moment.
Paul?
24 of them are
The
reported to be in a
ribs.
serious condition.
The ribs are
and
good.
4 are reported to be children. So I think very sadly we can expect to see the
I
death
appreciate
toll
the
rise as
chat.
the
Thank
day
you very
progresses.
much.
What do we know about what exactly happened to cause this level of carnage and two high-speed trains travelling towards each other?
Well, as you mentioned in your report there, it does seem very, very strange. The Transport Minister, Oscar Puente, pointed out that accident
Slow
happened
and
on a very
steady is better
stretch
than
of track.
quick and fast.
The high-speed train, the Irio train, had just been checked.
I ate some
4 days
slow-cooked
ago,
ribs.
for maintenance and for safety and passed. The stretch of track is very well maintained.
Just like these
So it
trains,
does
I think
seem a
slow
very
trains are better than
strange,
fast ones.
accident, and he has said at the moment that there shouldn't be any
Oh, man.
speculation about what could have caused the derailment. It could actually have been a lot worse. The high-speed trains in Spain travel at around 300 kilometers an hour. Fortunately, the Irio was actually going quite. The Alvia train that was traveling very. Those trains are kind of a hybrid high-speed train service, and they can travel up to 250 kilometers an hour. And in fact, one of the victims was the driver of that Alvia train.
You mentioned two rail operators there, Simon. Just tell us about the sort of focus of investigations and what's being said about those operators.
Well, I mean, it's just a terrible news for Spain, really, because the high-speed rail network is really one of Spain's crown jewels. The government is incredibly proud of it, and rightly so, because it is a fantastic
high-speed
service.
train is
The government
crazy.
is always encouraging people not to take the plane from, for example, from Madrid to Barcelona, but to use the high-speed train link. It's only in recent years that the lines have been opened up to private operators. It used to be just
I say as fast as an animal can run is good enough.
Operated on these high-speed links, but it has been opened up to other operators. So obviously the questions asked about Irio. Irio is an Italian owned company. It's one of several private operators on the lines.
I got some meat stuck in my
very sadly,
teeth.
this could
I need to
damage
floss.
the reputation for safety and for efficiency that the high-speed train network does have in Spain.
Simon, thank you so much for bringing us up to date. Simon Hunter, who's a freelance journalist based in Madrid. Let's just show you the picture that you can all see on your screens, the site itself. This was near Ademuz, and this was when a Madrid-bound train derailed. It crossed over to the opposite side of the track and collided with an oncoming train there in this location in Spain late on Sunday. And the Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez is visiting the crash site today. This has been a huge shock and a blow to Spain. And the Spanish Transport Minister has described it as extremely strange what happened because of the straight track that it was at the point of collision. The railway experts consulted by the government are baffled, the Transport Minister says, by what happened in this accident. So many questions surrounding this appalling collision that has led to at least 39 people dying, many more, over 100 being injured, but plenty of questions. 150 people receiving hospital treatment. We'll bring you the latest. Now, in just over an hour's time, Prime Minister Keir Starmer is to give a speech after an extraordinary weekend.
But 150 people survived. If it would have been a plane, like all 300 of them would have died, right?
That Donald Trump wants to get his hands on. The US president said he will impose new taxes on the UK and other countries if they continue to oppose his proposed takeover of the world's largest island. The British leader spoke to him on Sunday, stressing applying tariffs on NATO allies would be wrong.
Trains are
In the
scary.
early hours of Monday morning, President Trump wrote on Truth Social that NATO has been telling Denmark for 20 years you have to get the Russian threat away from Greenland. Before going on to say, unfortunately, Denmark has been unable to do anything about it. Now it is time, and it will be done. Well, this all comes as European nations discuss how to react to the possibility of punishing new tariffs from Washington, as Joe Inwood reports.
They were
2020 messed up my Raw.
Russian aggression. But these European
Bruh.
soldiers now find themselves at the center of an unprecedented row with the US president. Donald Trump wants to buy this island.
Bruh.
Denmark has said it is not for sale. Now, he has threatened some of his main allies, including the UK, with punitive tariffs for standing in his
2020
way.
messed up my Raw. I need some ass
Blackmail
from this beautiful woman.
other European countries.
We have been asking
She could just
since
about
the very
twerk.
beginning of this to have
Shake that ass.
constructive,
I want to tell her to shake that ass, and then I want to go.
and friends. We opened that
She'd be like,
dialogue,
"Spank me, Poppy,"
last week.
and I'll be like,
We will not give up on that.
I'm
With the Kingdom of Denmark in defense of its sovereignty.
"Stop
But
calling me
also,
Poppy, call me
we
Daddy."
do more together with America and with all our allies in the Arctic.
The future
Oh,
of Greenland
man.
is a matter for the people of Greenland and the people of the Kingdom of Denmark. That is non-negotiable. That is the starting point for the conversation.
Keir Starmer, who's developed a close relationship with Donald Trump,
Good
spoke to
times.
the president last
Good
night,
times.
reportedly telling him the tariffs were wrong.
Peace through strength. Make it part of the United States.
But on US TV, one of President Trump's top officials
Life's about good times.
owning Greenland was vital.
There's a lot of people that are not impressed by materialistic things, you know. They see a Ferrari and they're like, wow, the headrests suck. If you crash, you could probably fucking die.
I believe that the Europeans will understand that this is best for Greenland, best for Europe, and best
Or even if it's like a 2 or 3 story, like 4-story house, and like they're all like amazed that they have enough money to have such a giant house, and then some other guy looks at it and he's like, what if there's an earthquake? You know, it could collapse on you.
Even for some members of Donald Trump's own party, the argument about needing to own the island doesn't stack up.
We have other locations that are essential, critical infrastructure overall.
So it's like anybody can be negative about anything.
And I think certainly Greenland and the Greenlanders need to you know,
I just want
decide
a good woman that
their
actually
future and their
appreciates.
Many of the key players in this
I've dated some greedy ass women,
will be
man.
heading to the World Economic Forum in Davos this week.
Not anymore. Not
They
anymore.
will not be the only ones to criticize the
That's sad. That's sad that people go through this stuff. And then they're
Well,
like
actually,
so happy to be
that
single.
Speech by the Prime Minister
But every now and
Keir Starmer
then,
will
like
be
being
taking
single
place
makes me
over
nuts.
an hour's time in Downing Street, and that is where our chief political correspondent Henry Zeffman is. He says the Prime Minister's speech is highly anticipated.
I'm told the Prime Minister will reiterate.
Don't think I'll love like used to. It'll be a different kind of love, like an appreciative different kind of love.
He will also acknowledge that there is a
That's probably the best way to look at it, to be like,
comes to Greenland. He will say what we're told he said on a phone call to President Trump yesterday, which is that the US approach to Greenland is simply wrong. Well, there is an acknowledgement from people in the building behind me in private conversations that this is the most
man, turn this shit off.
of the relationship that Keir Starmer is very proud to have forged with President Trump over the past year or so.
Turn that
Also in
shit
Washington,
off.
That if President Trump doesn't back down, and if European countries, including the UK, do not back down, which Keir Starmer is adamant they will not, well, it does have the potential to lead to a much broader and more significant rupture.
Using and all, but also made me feel like it was something I'm supposed to be doing. I didn't think nothing of it.
That's because when it's an older woman and a boy, he gets overlooked and accepted as a rite of passage. But let it be Uncle Tony or some dude on the block. All hell would break loose. Dude is right. It's sexual abuse.
Pause, hold up. It's not that deep. Y'all need to stop being so sensitive around here. I don't know, man. What you think, young boy?
You leave this young man alone. He's been coming in here since he was a baby. Shoot, look at him. He's still a baby.
Well, no one asked me, but I think it's good that we have conversations like this with each other because it's definitely is happening.
Bruh.
And we don't have enough opportunities to talk about it. Yeah, you good? I'm gonna send you a text. Don't judge, just check it out. We've been watching, we've been listening. Black men need safe spaces. Black men are survivors too.
Yo, Luke. Black men need safe spaces too.
Pause, hold up. It's not that deep. Y'all need to stop being so sensitive around here. I don't know, man. What you think, young boy?
You leave leave this young man alone? He's been coming in here since he was a baby. Shoot, look at him.
Man, I don't know what to do. I'm lost in time.
We have conversations like this with each other because it's definitely is happening, and we don't have enough.
I'm lost in time, but I'm not. I got ADHD, but I don't.
I'm gonna send you a text. Don't judge.
I'm depressed, but I'm not.
We've been watching.
I'm happy, but I ain't.
Black men need black men are providers.
I want a woman, but I don't. I want a lot of money, but I don't. They say really all power corrupts. Man, I believe that shit. Something like how do they put it? All power, like having too much power will corrupt you.
There we go. You know, when you're used to projecting, you don't think you need a mic, but we do. So I would like to bring up our moderator.
Probably because people end up having to make decisions they didn't think they would make.
Giglio is a North Philadelphia native.
I don't
Shouts
know.
to Philly folk in the room. Writer, poet, and producer. Vision focuses his talents on unpacking race, racism, mental health, hypermasculinity, and many manifestations of interpersonal.
All I know is I need to fucking paint something. Maybe if I start painting and drawing and stuff, it'll reset my mind right. But I gotta spend hours doing it instead of playing video games.
Albeit funny, escapades and Trasterpiece Theater was born. Currently being developed as an animated series, Trasterpiece Theater was an audience award winner at the American Black Film Festival, Comedy Festival.
Like listening to the news too much is what keeps me in a negative mindset.
Now, with over 100 videos and millions of views, Trasterpiece Theater remains an honest and hilarious.
But if they actually show deaths, when they're talking about deaths on TV, it'll release adrenaline, which will actually wake you up a little bit and you will appreciate more. But it is traumatizing, like the deaths stay with people forever, like me seeing those people in India suffering from corona.
Hey, hi. Listen, huh? Yes, that was the trash one that was saying that, you know, it was one of the trash boys on there saying like it don't even matter if you do whatever you want. Yeah, we don't do what people like. Welcome. Be tense, and that's.
I don't know how many people really died from corona. Like I've heard like 10, 20 million people or something. I don't know.
So the more we can loosen up, we can start talking about this.
It's like nobody talks about it anymore because they talked about it so much on the news that nobody want to talk about it no more.
Introduce our panelists. And I got the bill with these.
But every now and then I'll think to myself, I'm like, 2020 is what fucked me up.
So starting off, Yolo and Keely Robinson, he, him, his, as it says on here. Y'all gotta loosen up.
Yeah, I gotta loosen up. I'm too uptight. Yeah. Yeah, we gotta loosen up. I'm telling you.
It's a non-binary.
That's what's wrong with me. I'm too tight.
Yogi and founder and executive.
All these angry people make me tighten up. Like these unhappy people that's unhappy in their life, man. I can't stand that shit. Like I used to hate it, and now I forgive them. You gotta forgive them, and just realize that not everybody's life was good when they was young, or they have brain.
Robinson's leadership.
Their brain developed differently. They got like they can't help it. And if it ain't you, it'll be somebody else. So it's like stop having empathy for them, but at the same time, like stop feeling sorry for them. Like don't feel sorry for them, and don't even care what they think. I think that I didn't really start realizing that until I was in my 30s.
There we go.
Because I know that old people definitely don't give a fuck what other people think. Yeah.
Robinson's leadership.
It's one thing that people let go of the older that they get.
Ford Global Fellow and a Robert Wood Johnson Foundation Health Equity Award winner.
It just sucks that life is so short that we couldn't be wise while we was young. No.
Around mental health, equity, and justice.
Not unless your people taught you how to be wise when you was young. You're gonna learn everything the hard way. And like I said, some people can learn, and other people they can't learn.
I had to do the doctor on this to be shady, bro. I really did. Dr. Malcolm Hill is one of the leading intellectual voices in the country. He is currently the host of BT News, The Griot, Al Jazeera Up Front.
But it's like Confucius said, like them Chinese, like that Chinese dude that got their people together because they was warring against each other or something. Like, I think I should learn more about the Confucius stuff, the Chinese stuff, because it was something about Confucius that was like saying that, like, the hierarchy of people, the noble people should be at the top, like you know, like the non-greedy person.
Numerous political prisoners. Dr. Hill has also worked in
But like I heard it before with some folks talking about like the financial stuff, like talking about money or something. Like the C students in school make the best boss men and boss ladies. Like, I don't know what it is about that, but it's like the C students are like the coolest or something.
And the author of the award-winning book 5 Trips.
I don't know if that's true, but it made sense to me because I was one of those students. Sometimes I'll make an A, sometimes I'll make a D, sometimes I'll make a B, and it just averaged out. Like every now and then I'd make an F because I wasn't doing my homework, but like I averaged out as a C student. But I do feel like I would make a great boss man. It just
Gibson has covered some of the biggest stories impacting our world.
I had failures in my life. I had failures with love and my own failures and my own disappointments, and it impacted me in a negative way that I didn't want to do anything. And then it's because I was unlucky. I was unlucky. So I see the people that are truly the luckiest. They have a good relationship. You know, when they're like fresh out of high school type stuff, and they stay together, like those people that stay together a long time, like from when they was like 18, 19, 20, 21, and like they've been together, you know, 10, 20, 30 years. Those are the luckiest people on the earth that I think. That's what I think.
Entertainment and news, and his ability to engage in provocative discussions on social and cultural
You know,
issues.
like you see some of those people, they're really old, they're like 90 years old, and they've been together like 75 years, and then when one of them dies, when one of them gets sick and die, it really hurts the other one, and then like one of them, like if they die, the other one will die like really fast right after the first one dies, and it's like,
We already stated we are gathered today to premiere the barbershop.
that's weird. I think that's really weird.
Often overlooked. In fact, narratives about
That's
young
like-
men and boys having sexual
That's how
encounters
strong
with
love
older
can
women
be.
have been praised as a rite of passage. I know our panelists would agree with me that that's far from a rite of passage.
But it happens to old people that have been together a long time.
Right. But before we do that, a little
And that's remarkable.
I guess housekeeping.
But I felt that
Core assumptions.
like I felt that depressing depressing type feeling, like falling out of love, like being broke up with, and it's a terrible depressing feeling, and like the more you go through that, the stronger you'll get.
Harmful behaviors. Do we all agree? Black men and masculine folks, mental health suffers because of how we are taught to suppress emotions.
And it might suck for the next person to not be able to feel like that love like you would love, but they also can't take advantage of it either. But if it is a good enough love, I mean, you'll love. You think you can't love again? Man, that's you lying to yourself.
You're in the space of community, and we're in the space of growing and healing right now. So with no further ado, let's get this panel popping.
Get that panel popping.
Each of you has a public-facing persona that brings you into many different types of conversations. Can you share a little bit about yourself and why you said yes to being a part of this particular conversation? We can start with you.
This is perfect. Well, first I want to start with giving gratitude for the work that's made this moment possible. I want to give gratitude to Me Too, an organization led by Black women, led by women who made this
Take
possible. This
action
conversation. Can we give a round
to
of
make
applause
black
for that?
children safer. It's a black
And I also just want
community
to
talk
I'm always like, what the land we are. We are
on
in the
Free
space
Speech
of the
TV.
Apollo. We are in legendary space, right? And so it means something that's significant for us to be in partnership and in this space.
Me Too movement, the barbershop. What?
Of resistance, of artistic brilliance that has existed in
Damn,
this
that'll
space,
go on
right?
for a long
so I
time.
want to hold that and name that too. To answer your question about why did I choose to come to this, I come to this space as one, as a survivor, right? And I also come to this space as a person who's been holding for the last 20 plus years spaces for black men and boys to heal, creating spaces for black men and boys to heal. And I've seen the ramifications of this discourse show up in real time, in real space, right? Whether it has been through the defensiveness that I think we can kind of see in that PSA, where brothers
I thought
are
about
like,
going back to the dump and getting a bunch of that trash.
in which
I mean the
sometimes a lot
wood.
of layers to it. Defending against
But I didn't.
something that may be more difficult to hold. And so
I'd have to jump in the dump and then get the
space for brothers who have
I'm just learning these things. I'm not really a dumpster diver, y'all. But I'm turning into one.
They were assaulted by an adult woman.
I mean, don't dumpster dive if there's cameras on over there. I heard you can get in trouble, so.
And I've also had to also support communities of where, particularly, I would say, I want to name black boys.
I appreciate money now. I didn't used to appreciate money, I guess. You grow up and then you realize
right? And so I see this
how hard you had to work for the money, and then
and I also know that,
it's different when you get older.
There's a need for us to heal and transform the ways in which we relate to masculinity, some of the concepts.
You have to try to succeed in finding love.
Should be having sex with a child.
They won't just find you. It don't work like that. But you hear some people say that sometime, and especially for country folk. I done learned living in the country that if you don't look for love, you ain't never gonna get it. So you have to put yourself out there, and that's the hard part. But it'll get easier to say no. If you don't been through love before, it's easier to say no.
Anything that Toronto asked me to do, I would do, but this wasn't even this was
I messed up one time. I tried to break up with her, and she made me feel bad because she told her sister, and then her sister was texting me like, why is my sister crying? It's stupid. Like, I should have been like, I broke up with her. But no, because I was a nice person, I felt bad, and like, I let her date me for a little longer, and then it like
as someone who has grown up in and lived in communities,
you can't listen to their parents or what their friends think or their sisters or their brothers. It's like, if you don't really want to be with that person, don't be with that person,
growing up knowing
but because I went through stuff like that, it's easier for me to say no.
Experience various levels of sexual abuse, sexual assault, etc.
Don't lead them on, you lead somebody on just because you get to experience a little bit of love.
People like you to help them heal.
It'll backfire on you.
I think about what it meant to be part of movements as an activist and also as a believer at times in organizations where sexual assault was happening.
It's all about your perspective.
And although I was too young to be held responsible as a kind of whistleblower, we were all kids. I still carry
At Colorado Loop, it's all about your perspective on things. If you think that you're always going to be used, that's all it's always going to be. But if you set your sights on a better future with the right person, at Colorado Loop.
What? I turned the speed up. Is talking too fast.
Needs to look a certain way, and for me that means
it's all about your perspective on things. If you think that you're always going to be used, that's all it's always going to be. But if you set your sights on a better future with the right person, you will find the right person eventually. Yeah, that makes sense.
Issues of sexuality, sexual identity, in
Yeah,
ways that are always
you have
healthy
to set
and
your
healing.
sights
And
on
so I feel the need to push back both in
the
private
right
and
kind of
public terms
person.
things.
Yeah, because if you're okay with being used, then they'll, yeah,
Hi, everybody.
right.
Thank you so much for having me.
Sometimes you end up accepting being used, and then you end up loving a lot, and then it's yeah.
When I got an email saying, "Would you like to be on this?"
I know I'm
panel?"
not
I was like,
perfect, and like nobody's perfect,
Yes, of
and
course.
so
Tell
we
me
just
where I can make it happen.
sometimes you think too much. Sometimes you look back in your memories, and it's like it's not exactly how it played out.
Life and
So like your mind really
wrote
can
about
play tricks on you.
my childhood sexual abuse, my childhood trauma, my racial trauma, a whole lot of trauma that I've experienced over the course of decades in my life. It is only within the last couple of years that I've come to grips with knowing and talking about the sexual abuse that I suffered at the hands of one of my brothers when I was 6 years old.
All right, Luke, gotta get out of
After
there.
my 6th birthday.
Have an
I
amazing
remember,
night.
we were in Belize in poverty, and it went on for
Yeah.
a course of
Yeah, you're an interesting dude.
I didn't talk about it.
You're going through
I
a
thought it
hard
was
time
just
right now, and I guess
something
that's why
normal.
it's so interesting.
There was something weird
It's
that took
part of
place
what
afterwards.
your
When my
character
brother
is
found
about,
a
but
girlfriend, I was kind of jealous.
yeah, sometimes
And it took me
people
until last year.
they like to watch, like
talking
it's
with somebody's
interesting to
mother
watch
hear
people
that
go
that is a
through stuff,
normal thing.
because then you get
A
to,
victim of,
compare it to your own life, and so the people that are honest, like you're brutally honest, like those people, like that's authentic, like that's real, and so like I do appreciate that on a lot of people. Sometimes I feel sorry for women, man. They're just like bombarded by all these like weird comments. Like the majority of viewers are male
and we never
on
talked about it.
YouTube, so like it's kind of hard for women to find an
I learned it
authentic,
last year, so I didn't name my brother in my book.
or
And I
like
gave
it's
a
hard
preview
for
to
them
my
to
family
be
members.
themselves.
And one of my nieces said, "You didn't need to name my sperm donor. I know
It's
that
hard
it
for
was him.
women to be
He
themselves,
abused me until I was 13.
so it's
He
understandable
abused
that they
my
have to be
sister
fake to a
until
certain
she was in
degree
her 20s. And he abused
on social
my
media,
young brother,
like,
raised
or
him.
people take advantage.
And there was a little bit of guilt, not being able
That's
to
weird.
lower
YouTube
that
is
kind of
weird, y'all.
overtook me at that point, but it kind of just fueled
YouTube
me
is
to
weird.
talk more about it and to talk and to normalize it, because by us not talking about it, everybody feels as if
It's good that we talk
we're
about it.
suffering
Right, yeah.
in silence, and we really
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
And
Get
it's
over your
been part of the healing
embarrassment.
process for me to speak
Yeah.
out about it. So
I gotta get over
thank
my
you guys again
embarrassment.
for allowing us to be here to talk about this stuff.
My biggest struggle in my life is to get over my embarrassment.
Yeah, take that.
You know, what makes you get all flushed in the face? You feel the blood rushing to your face.
Which I'm sure you guys don't know what that is, but in the country we have to do things with our hands. And I don't know where he goes.
I used to get some, like, I used to have to do a bunch of stuff, and I got burnt out. I got burnt out by the time I was 26.
You had sex yet?
That's what it was.
I'm probably 13 or 14 years old, and I go, no. And he goes, all right now. He's like, you're a Lathan man. Like, we're good looking, we're tall. You get to 16, you ain't had none yet. That you're a little different. Don't let your uncles know that. And that fundamentally changed me, because when you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail. And so the women that were in my community were no longer people. They were ways from me.
At Colorado Loop, that's the way it was in my last relationship. I gave 100%, she gave 10 once in a great while, mainly I gave everything and I lost everything in the end. At Colorado Loop, that's the way.
And started talking to my friends. We
Yeah,
started
that's
to realize
rough.
that a lot of them
That sucks.
were relieved to have been abused. They were relieved. They were relieved to have had sexual encounters with older women when they were kids, because that meant that they were a man. They just got there faster.
Yeah, you good, Luke?
And so
You good, man?
I grew up and I would hear
Luke's gonna be alright, y'all. He just gotta,
really close friends goes, yeah, man, happened with me. They would say
he just has to be there
I'm in
for
a
himself.
posture of peacocking, right?
YouTube is helping this guy because
For me, it happened like 8.
it's
And
helping
this
him
girlfriend of my mama's, man, you know,
release his emotions. It helps him be a better person, try to be a better person. In a lot of ways, YouTube
and then bragging.
will help you be a
Never
better
forget one time
person.
I like, so we're in our 30s, like, you realize that's wrong, right? And then the answer becomes this.
Because I think that people go through too much self-hatred,
It's what I'm supposed to be doing.
self-pity type
And it's
stuff.
what I've been doing.
And then after getting, like, after being on YouTube for a while, like, it'll change you a little bit.
Are the characters that don't know that they're not safe. Like everybody else, we screaming at the theater. We going, hey, move, move, get out the way, but they doing something else. They don't know that they're not safe. Freddie coming from, Jason coming from, he be moving real slow. I don't see how you get nobody. But they coming from it, they don't know that they're not safe. And that's a profound thing, to not know that you are not safe, to not know the trauma that you have, and then to take that trauma and generationally propagate it, or to process it in a way that's not healing a hole for you. And like everything else in the world, that's dangerous. At a certain point, somebody has to say no. So I'm here to help say no.
I want to say thank y'all for being here, number one. That's important. And also, the vulnerability and transparency of this conversation ain't easy. So thank you for being here for that purpose, if for nothing else. In the PSA, we saw different responses to the news of a celebrity admitting that they had lost their virginity to their babysitter. We noticed
what the fuck?
We've seen rappers YG, A$AP Ferg, and many
Oh, no.
cases of sexual assault, even though lots of times they don't name it that way. Most times they don't name it that way. Can you all further elaborate on some of the current conversations about Black boys, sexual violence, and safety? What conversations have you been a part of, and what have you overheard?
He said he lost his virginity. They lost her. Oh, no.
I can say from a media perspective, even when I think about the way these stories are covered, it's problematic. But it's not just the way stories are covered, it's if stories are covered. You know, a lot of times we spend our energy talking about the way a thing is talked about, but not covering something or not mentioning something, it gives us much of a lesson about what matters as the way we cover it. And so, for example, when boys in general, when we get stories in the newsroom and we're sitting in the newsroom pitching stories, I can say from my time at Huffington Post up until now, we're far less likely to cover a story of a boy being sexually assaulted by a woman, or specifically a teacher or a babysitter, right? Those are, and when we do tell those stories, the scripts are often written with like a comedic undertone or an irony, and sometimes I've been in newsrooms where hosts have wanted to say "lucky guy" or these other things that we talk about because, to Van's point, it's what we're supposed to be doing. And if you're a 13-year-old boy and you quote unquote have sex with your babysitter, or you have sex with your English teacher, it's seen as you somehow got a pass into this world as opposed to having been sexually assaulted. And because in the media sphere we talk about it in that way, we tend to normalize that idea or reinforce that idea that's already been normalized. And similarly, when I see these rapper stories, and it's not just rappers, but the rapper stories are the ones that are prominent, where I took my son and made him have sex with a sex worker, or I paid for my son to get this done to him when he was 12 or 13. We hear these stories multiple times, often from the same handful of rappers, but
Man, I should have left the network off. Yeah. Yesterday I was playing some Terminator Resistance, and it's really hard when I put it on hard. I kind of gave up on it, but I think I'm close to completing the game. But I was trying to play this Mind's Eye. I got it for $10, and it's a hell of a game for $10. That's for sure. But paying full price, yeah, I would be disappointed too. And it don't seem to work after it starts downloading, trying to download the update. Whoa. "2019 Terminator Resistance." Really? 1984 Studio Canal SAS. Judgment Day movie Terminator 2. 1991 Studio Canal SAS. All rights reserved. The Terminator movie 1984. Yeah, that's why this game is so good. Because if you really enjoyed the movie, I'm gonna try one more time, see if this thing will play when I turn the. I don't know if I have to delete the. Cancel and delete the update. It'd probably be cool to play it with the update. Same thing with Battlefield 6, I guess. But I'm not trying to download it right now. I don't know if I should just delete it. It's something about Battlefield. I don't think I'm into Battlefield anymore. Because I bought Battlefield 6, Battlefield 2042. It's because I still got Battlefield 4 installed. And it's only 5 gigabyte for the update playing that game, and like I really appreciate that. So in a way, I like Battlefield 4 more because it's not 70 gigabyte on 2042. Let me try it. Hell no, I'm still doing that copy of the update file. That's trash. I turned it off the internet too. I don't like that it does that. What if I turn this off and then turn it back on? Cause my mama said, and my mama was like, and then I was talking to my mama, and cause my mama said I need a sugar mama. My mama knew I was a boy toy, because my mama, when I was talking to my mama, because my mama, Terminator. Oh, I was reading about the new one that's gonna come out. That's multiplayer. It's only co-op, so it's like you can play on a team. Get out there and y'all find a date. Y'all find a date. Y'all get in a relationship. This 2020 stuff y'all ought to be super inclined. You ought to be happy to try to find a relationship now. Don't be afraid. Do not be afraid. The more that you go through in life, the easier it is to say no. Coffee making my heart hurt. Oh, jeez. All this talk. I need to STFU. Shut the fuck up. Tell your mind to shut up. I wouldn't mind some weed right now. Like, weed would really help me relax. I got some chamomile. I haven't even tried it. Come on, man. Work. What the? Ugh. I still don't want to do it. How come I got Cyberpunk to work like that? But this one won't. Do I have to wait a while? Maybe I have to wait a while. One time I realized that on Cyberpunk, I would have to wait a while. That's it. I'm gonna listen to music. I might have to restore the license. But was it a one-time license? This downloadable content, is it just one time or what? I mean, after you put it in the first time. There's a thing where you press options and then restore the license. Connect back on the internet. Okay. Press options. Restore license. Restore. Man, I'll put back in Farming Simulator 22. That game is a beast with all the mods. And then you actually get to learn something. Farming. License restored. Okay. I don't know exactly what that means, but I think it has something to do with the DLC. The fact that I gotta hold down the PlayStation button is annoying sometimes. See, I have to pause this again. That's what's so crazy, man. I don't know. I think that's why somebody returned this thing. Because I got it on sale at GameStop. It was used. I bet a lot of people get frustrated by this. I don't know why it's so terrible. I don't know why they made it so terrible. PlayStation 4 was easier to control. Now what if I put it back, take it back offline? And then play. It's still doing it, God. Oh man. Oh. Oh. I guess I'll wait a little bit, see if it ever does. This is that thing where you would have to completely delete the game and then make sure your internet's off, and then you put the game back in and reinstall it just to play it completely offline with no download and nothing. Why is this all foamy? It's from that vitamin C pill. I need a girlfriend now! What the fuck am I doing with these video games? Video games will keep you single. Your mind will keep you single. Before you change the world, you gotta change yourself. You gotta go through hell. It's an offline game, y'all. This makes no sense. The PlayStation 5 stuff, playing these offline games. Some of them, though, there's no problem. It gives you the option. Start the game without updating it. So it's not all their fault. When we fall apart, or who the fuck you are. I'm gonna put Madden back in and play some football. We've come such a long way, let us sing. We've come such a long way, let us sing. We've come such a long way, let us sing. We've come such a long way, let us sing. We've come such a long way, let us sing. We've come such a long way, let us sing. We've come no turning back. I don't know what to play, man. Damn, man. I don't know about working a farm. Bruh. Crazy. Crazy.
A wise man once said, to forget how to dig the soil and the earth is to forget ourselves. Well, maybe some have, but a few of us still know. You gotta be willing to put in the time, the sacrifices, and the hard choices. The job's got its perks, don't get me wrong. The sweet smell of the morning dew, the way the warm sun and the cool breeze can dance across your skin. But don't think it's a game. The farm's got a way of sorting the wheat from the chaff. Just remember to keep your wits about you. You fall, you get back up again. Because this is more than just a job. It's a calling. Who else would choose to wake up early in the morning, tear up their hands working in the fields all day, and then spend the evening planning how they're going to do it all over again, better, tomorrow? Day after day. Season after season. Year after year. That's a calling that's never ending. It stretches far forward and back from us as long as farmers have been tending this earth. And farmers will be around as long as such a thing exists. Tomorrow is secured by those willing to dirty their hands today.
Yeah, plant some grapes.
So when you feel alone out there in the field, just remember you're not. Think about all those that have come before you. And all those that'll follow. today, harvest tomorrow.
Farming Simulator 22. It has mods. It has mods. First time ever on console. There's so many mods. Oh, I don't have it online. Monster truck. I love it and I miss it. If I had a good woman, I'd kiss it. She could pack my lunch and I'd eat it. Yeah, how you like them apples? Whoa, Chevy S10. Oh my god. It was the best looking little Chevy truck they ever made. When they switched the design to the Colorado, it's fucking ugly. Why do they fuck us over like that? They fuck themselves over. It's that push and pull in the power structure type thing. They're like, I wanted you to make something ugly and it was perfect. No, but to them it was just changing the design because for some reason they didn't like this design. The rounder it is, the better. When it's got sharp edges, it's ugly. I don't think they realize that stuff. Some people do and some people don't. Sharp edges hurt my eyes. Whoa! Oh Oh my god. They don't have the oh shit handle. Somebody did this, made this mod. Damn, man. My life was good when I had that truck, but paid too much money for it because the dealerships rip people off with a high interest rate if they don't work on their credit. Oh, that's the end of the map. I could totally be just working on another side of the map instead of spending all my time on one side of the map. That's closer to the shop. I could have been working over here on this side. Give you a different experience with the game. I had the extended cab. But it was that exact model. That color too. That's it. I need to buy me a camper. What? My battery's low. Oh. No. Well, I'm gonna get off here, y'all. Y'all have a good one. Be good to yourself and everyone around you. Maintain yourself for a brighter future.